the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial. And our apparel partners are none other than 656. It's going to be your boy, Aggressive, joined by none other than Crips. It's been a while since he's been back on the desk, but hey, we're here to welcome him with open arms. How are you feeling, my buddy, as we do head on down on towards the fixtures for today?
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Aggressive. It's been an absolutely amazing feeling to be back here. I love Valorant, and I mean, what can I say? It gives me the thrills, man. And today we have a thrilling match in our hands too. It's Team Valor versus Team Exploit. Now, this is a little bit of a inter-country rivalry of sorts. Team Valor have become super strong ever since the arrival of Pasha Sahil and Hunter. Team Exploit, on the other hand, they've just been climbing up the ranks more and more ever since we first saw them during the VCC qualifiers. And now they're here. And I'm just so happy that we get to see a lot more of this team.
Yep. In my eyes, I've seen Exploit pull off incredible speeds, especially when you consider what they did going up against the side of SADUL on their previous matchup here on the Gauntlet. It was absolutely incredible. Exploit, they just tore down the walls of SADUL and they didn't even know what hit them. It was as if I was looking at global esports pretty much playing on the server. And in a way, having that much potential in your roster just goes to show that you have really far to go. And I believe that in the Gauntlet, you can hone your skills even further, especially with the amount of matches that you are going to be playing. And to go up against Team Valor here, that's going to be an interesting fight, that is for sure. But before we talk a lot more about that, ladies and gentlemen, the MVP standings are back. So hey, let's head on down over to the Crucial MVP standings and see exactly who's been tearing up the server here for week number 1. And is it really surprising here, Grips, that Paradox is right at the very top? Like, he's been there every single season.
Yeah, Paradox being here is not really a surprise to me, but Deadly 10, yep, that's a new name. I did not expect him to be up on the top just like this right now. I mean, it's just the starting days of the Gauntlet, so maybe across the season when the bigger teams like Global Esports and VLT start playing more, we'll have players like SK Rossi and everyone take their rightful place. But Ion Q, it's refreshing to see him under the Reckoning Esports banner. Reckoning Esports as a team haven't been performing that well, but it's just a new team, new roster. I think by the time the season ends, they will be pretty much gel with each other and they will be at the top of their game. But then Weird Esports also are a new team over here. And I'm just so happy to see all their players step up and give Paradox and Deathmaker a run for their money.
That's for sure. Weird. They've been making massive strides. And in a way, it's a little bit heartbreaking when you consider the story of Reckoning as well. Reckoning as a roster, they were the dominant roster in season number 2. And then in season number 3, they didn't really have the start that we would expect them to have. Just fell apart. And in that sense, I honestly do believe that Reckoning, they need to step it up massively moving on down the line. But hopefully throughout the entire Gauntlet, once again, this is their chance to keep on learning, keep on understanding how they can gel together as a squad. So moving on down the line, I'm really hopeful that they're going to be able to do a lot. But hey, we're talking about the side of the teams here. So let's head on over towards group standings and see exactly how it looks shaping up and down, considering all the matches that have been going on back in week number 1. To give you a refresher here, Clips, I don't know if you've been looking out at the scorecards as much. Exploit, they're pretty much at the number one. They're undefeated. And Valor, they're also undefeated. They won both of their matchups. It's completely easy. Took it down on a 2-0. Nothing to really scoff at. But Team Valor, they had a little bit more of a hard time when they went up against God Particles. They did drop one map, but right at the very end on Split, it was a really, really close game. I don't know if you watched it or not, but that game went to an 18-16 scoreline, where Valor nearly, just barely were able to edge out a victory against God Particles.
18-16. That's like what, 4-5 overtimes?
On
That's
Split.
ridiculous.
On Split, by the way.
Split that too. Well, that kind of reminds me of one particular game we saw that went into a triple overtime. The kind of game that broke our hearts, but we won't talk about that over here. Team Valor and Exploit. This is the battle for supremacy. The team that ends up winning this game will be the first team to pick up 4 points on the league standings.
Yeah, this is where they really need to step it up, because if you get that early lead, especially when it comes down to the first initial games, you're pretty much set yourself in a way that you're not going to be able to go down further enough to get relegated. Like, I'm not even saying you can get yourself into playoffs if you don't win out on the bare minimum of at least like 5 or 4 of your matches. Then you can be in the clear. You can relax a little bit because you are going to be able to head on to playoff. But if you get that strong early start of getting 3 wins for yourself, just pronto, not even dropping a single map, then you just set that pace for all the other teams being like, hey, we need to worry about these guys because they're on a winning streak. And when you have that momentum, you can't really stop that momentum as well, especially when you consider that Team Valor, they're a heavy momentum-based team, and Team Exploit, they're a little bit more of an unknown quantity. We don't know what to expect from them. Do they like the momentum? Can they actually readjust themselves? So even after a loss, there are a lot of factors to Exploit that Team Valor cannot really predict. And that prediction and that unpredictability, could just be the downfall of Team Valor moving on down the line. And hey, as we're talking about the side of Team Exploit a little bit, so let's head on down over onto their team intro and see exactly who's going to be tearing up the server from their side. And Gribbs, I'm going to be handing over the mic to you. Talk us right through the squad.
HSB, Soulmate, Shooter, King, and last but not the least, Darky. Now, take a look at these 2 players starting with S, Soulmate and Shooter. I swear to God, when I saw them for the first time, I thought I'm looking at an aimbot. Not even kidding. These guys were just that good. And with such sharp aim, one would expect that these guys can just completely walk into a site, steamroll everybody over, and take it for themselves. But they don't do that. You have HSB at the helm, who not just is a great IGL, but also is basically an all-rounder. He can fill in the gaps in the team and make sure that nobody will be able to attack them from an unseen angle. And their top 2 players, Shooter, he can go ahead and do his job. He can take down the entire server. And one more thing I've noticed about Team Expert is that they keep on switching up roles very often. Like, sometimes I see HSB on the Jet, sometimes I see him on the Sova. Most of the times, it is going to be either King or Shooter on the Jet or any other duelist for that matter. But then they, again, keep on switching things up. I've seen them pick up Killjoy once in a while. So I'm like, what do we do about this team? Do they even have dedicated roles? Or do they just have like comfort agents in particular maps and then they play according to that? Honestly, it's a bit too soon to say. We've only seen like 1 game so far of them against Seoul and they completely demolished them. Maybe this time their opponent's Team Valor can give them a better run for their money. And then we will get to see the true flavor that Team Exploit brings to the dinner plate.
The Team Valor, they're in a little bit more of a better position in general, but at the same time, Team Exploit, we cannot really count them out now just yet, now can we? Let's head on down over to the Ballistic player spotlight for the side of Team Exploit, ladies and gentlemen, because it feels like they need this one player to be the one that shines the brightest above the rest to keep the squad in the rolling. And I think that it's like no one else can be better than Darky, because Darky, being on that Astra, being on that controller, he has a level of control over the entire map and a bird's eye view of things that we, even as casters, cannot see. The way he is able to predict a lot of the moves here for the side of Team Exploit, especially against the match of Seoul. Previously, he was a pretty much the deciding factor of a lot of rounds in that particular way. He was able to get incredible clutches, and Darky, his aim is just so beautiful as well. And in a way, him being on the player spotlight, in my eyes at least, it's not really a surprise.
Well, it's not a surprise for me either. But let's be honest, Darky is probably one of the most consistent players in the team. Consistent as in he is the guy who picks up the controllers most of the time. Now, sometimes it's Astra. Depending on the map, he might even pick up a Viper. But then, unlike others, he doesn't change his role that much. So that's one thing about him. And it's better that way. I kind of prefer it when the controller doesn't usually take other roles and other agents, because there's a certain level of timing that's required that coordination has to be there within your team, and that timing cannot be achieved if you keep on changing your controller player every time. So I'm actually happy that Darky is one of the guys who doesn't switch his roles while everyone else keeps on experimenting and trying. Keep on trying new hats. Darky doesn't do that.
Yeah, the buddy system is just super so crucial on the map of on any map in Valorant pretty much, because you need to understand when do you want to place those smokes, when do you want to go in for entries, and to build a team chemistry. You need like I personally believe this as well. Like it's two players that are the closest buddies compared to any other, and those are the two players that come together, enter down into a side, or maybe they're placing in their utility in proper conjunction with one another. And those two players, as one singular unit, will work with another two-player unit and then mesh together for an execution. That's my ideology, anyways, in the way Valorant should be played, because in that sense, you don't have to worry about the entire team meshing together. You'd have two separate units working together, and then there's the fifth guy, normally the Sentinel, who is the lurker, who is the information feeder. He's the IGL. He's the one pushing your squad forward. And I'm really hoping that this is kind of the game plan that Exploit are trying to employ. I've seen them in the previous matchup, but going up against Team Valor, a team that is well known for the buddy system and for their insane trade potential, it's gonna be quite difficult. So let's head on down over to the team intro for the side of Team Valor, ladies and gentlemen, because Valor, in a way, this squad, they have gone through a lot of different iterations, but with the recent addition of JN, I personally do believe that things could just get a lot more interesting here, Clips.
Yeah, I was excited about Hunter and Pasha Sahil, but with JN entering the roster, things might just start to become even more spicy. Buster is probably one of the only players who's been with this roster right from the start, so he's one of the OG players. I kind of miss Strokey though. He also was a really good player, but with the entry of JN, there's a lot more firepower in this team. And JN is one of those fast-paced players that can just pick up the pace anytime. And if these guys are stuck in a situation, and if you want to make a Hail Mary play, then JN is your go-to guy.
Main thing that it really does hurt is the exit of Pixels. Pixels was one of those players that I absolutely
True.
adored when he played that Viper, especially on Bind. And in a way, from what I've seen from the previous matchups of Team Valor, they're struggling without the presence of Pixel. He was just that anchor for the squad. Yeah, Hunter's incredible. He's a beautiful anchor player. He can get you round wins that you really should not have been happening. And he has the clutch gene, yes, but having another clutch god on your side as well, a crazy person like Pixels who can just push forward and just pop people in the head before you can even think about it. Like, no one else can do that, especially on the controller role. But Pixels had that, and Team Valor, they're suffering just a little bit because of it. They're trying to readjust their playstyles. And in a way, those readjustments, if it takes too long, Team Exploit, please, I'm sorry for the pun, they're going to exploit the fact that they have a massive gap in their armor. And I can see that Chris is shaking his head, but it's completely fine. Moving on down the line from that, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on down over to the Ballistic player spotlight for the side of Team Valor and see who's going to be the one to fill in those gaps to try and hammer out any sort of misconception and problems. And it has to be Buster. He's the one who has been here for the longest. He is one of the people who have the most experience in comparison to all the others, other than Hunter, of course. He needs to be the one to start to open everything up for his entire squad. But at the same time here, Cribs, Buster been having a pretty rough couple of games over the last course of days.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. It's hit and miss sometimes. Buster is one of those high risk, high reward players who will go for those plays which are, let's be honest, just straight up ballsy. And it makes sense for Ballistix to be, on top of this title page because Buster is the kind of guy that will pick up the risky plays, and more often than not, he will turn them into a successful play. Yeah, sometimes the game just doesn't like him. Sometimes the timing is just not in his favor, and that is unfortunate. But that doesn't demotivate Buster. He'll just try something else in the next round. And even though he does play with the Killjoy quite often, I love seeing Buster when he's on Arena. That's when he gets to truly shine. Doesn't give a damn kind of playstyle comes through when he's on his Arena, especially on Ascent. That's when this guy is really to be feared.
Yeah, this guy can just tear you down limb from limb, and you're gonna get hit by something that you don't really expect. And we call him the Daya of the Valorant scene for a reason. He can bust down your doors, and he's not even gonna care who's on the other side. And he's gonna do a 1-2 pop military style entry frag everyone out of existence. That's his job. And Team Valor, they need him to step up massively here to take control of the team, to calm them down if things get a little bit too difficult. Because against Team Exploit, things are going to get difficult. And as we do head on down over to the map view screen, if the map is not in the favor of the side of Team Valor, I don't really know what to expect. The thing is, whenever you're facing off against unknown quantity, a team that you pretty much have not really scrimmed, or if you don't really know what to do against, the maps are just as crucial. And here, Team Valor, they picked up the map of Icebox right off the get-go. Second is going to be Bind, and third is going to be Ascent. Icebox being a map that they picked up first, I don't know how I feel about this one, Crips, because Valor and Icebox, they don't really have a really good history with one another.
But it's better than picking up something more generic, like let's say Haven, or maybe something like Breeze. So I think I will give them the benefit of doubt. On Icebox, the thing is, Team Valor relies a lot on timing, and if you get your timing right on Icebox, then you can hit those flanks, you can exploit mid, no pun intended. But in a map like Haven, even if you have the timing, sometimes you just need the raw firepower, because Team Exploit can rotate and stack a bomb site, and at that point you will not be able to get in there. So that's what I like about Icebox more, especially when they're starting on the attacking side. If they can somehow bamboozle Team Exploit to stack the wrong side, or maybe cut off the rotations in some way, then I think Team Valor has a decent chance. But then going into Bind and Ascent, I am favoring Team Exploit a little bit more, simply because they're just a lot more comfortable on this one. Ascent can be anyone's game, let's be honest. Ascent is like neutral territory for every team. But we've seen Team Exploit pull off great feats on Bind, and we've seen them do that against the likes of Global Esports. So I'm a little confident that Team Exploit will be able to take Bind in their favor. So if they want to go to Ascent, if they want to make this a 3-map affair, then Team Valor must hit their timing right on Icebox.
Yeah, Team Valor, they need this one. There's no way around it, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried here, Crips. Now that Pixels is not in the roster anymore, JN's going to be the one to play that Jet, of course. Like, he is the Jet main. We know him for his Jet plays. And Buster is normally that secondary fragger, so Pasha is the one being forced onto the controller. Now, the main issue is that Pasha, we know him to be an incredible aim god, and he is an absolute beast when it comes down to playing a Sage and playing a Jet. But now that he's forced onto a controller role, do you think that he's going to be picking up a Viper? Because my hands are up in the air. I don't know what Team Valor's composition is going to look like. They don't have a Viper player anymore. Who else is there that can play the Viper? Bullet? No, not even Bullet. Bullet needs to play the Sova from time to time, or maybe Hunter's going to play the
Hunter is the
Viper.
Sova, right?
Yeah, no,
I
that's
thought
the thing. That's the confusing part. Hunter is the Sova, but Bullet sometimes also plays the Sova, depending on situation.
Okay, yeah, that is indeed a
It's this
pickle.
confusion factor now.
Well, I mean, if we are confused, then maybe Team Exploit will be confused as well, and hopefully this confusion will land them in a little bit of a pickle. But let's see what's going to happen. We know what kind of agents these guys will pick up. There will definitely be a Sova. There will definitely be a Viper. We just need to find out which one of these players ends up picking up as their own. But then, do you expect Buster to pick up the Reyna again on Ascent, or something like Killjoy? Do you think he'll go for something safe, or do you think he's going to go for those double duelist setups on Ascent?
I think that I'm expecting something really spicy. Double duelist with him picking up a Phoenix. I know. You're gonna say that why a Phoenix? Phoenix is
No, no,
actually
no.
really good.
It is. I agree. I mean, Reyna and Phoenix can be interchanged. I mean, both have flashes, both can heal, both are duelists. So it does make sense that Phoenix and Reyna are interchangeable. The only difference is that Reyna can get away with some plays because of the dismiss. But if you're smart enough, you will never be in a difficult situation. You will never need to dismiss away in the first place. So Phoenix and Reyna can be interchanged. Just like Jet and Raze can. Both of them are mobility-based agents. And both of them can clear out corners pretty well. Both of them can cover a lot of ground easily. So that's how they can also be interchanged.
In a way, like Raze is a pickup on the map of Ascent. I don't know. Raze is kind of grown on me. Like, you know for a fact that I'm a real big hater for any Raze plays on Ascent. I have told you this over and over again, and even when we played together, I made my opinions about this really vocal that I don't like Raze on Ascent. But as I've been watching these pro teams play a lot more, I have found a way that Raze can be really strong. It can be really good. But the thing is, to make use out of that Raze, you need to have a really good team behind your back to clear out the
True.
corners that you can
True.
clear. Raze is so one-dimensional as a character that that's one of the main reasons why I don't like her. Unless you're an absolute god at using your satchels, you're gonna be going in the same way over and over again. And you're gonna get shot out of the sky, you're gonna get popped in the head as soon as you throw a grenade. The timings need to be perfect. There's so much that you need to consider that, and if your team is not there to back you up in a lot of these different scenarios, you're just not gonna have a really good time. But I want to ask you, Trips, do you think that there's a chance for a race to get picked up on the map of Esports? Because I have seen this. Now, in Bind, there's a possibility, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But in Esports, I've seen a lot of the other professional level teams skip out on that jet because of the recent nerfs and not having a couple of smokes to work with, and of course the knives, to pick up a raise for massive executions with a double initiator composition or a double controller composition. It's not a bad idea. It's not a
It's
bad
not.
idea, but it's really difficult to pull.
Agreed. Now, a Raze getting picked up on Icebox, I don't think that's gonna happen. All these players are pretty much comfortable with the Jet on a map like Icebox, especially with the added verticality. I think the updrafts give you quite a lot of value on the Jet. But then I think the Raze, there is a chance of it being picked up in Bind, especially since it's a close quarters map. The explosive and the generous dose of boom that the Raze does offer, I think it's kind of a valuable pick in a map like Bind. I mean, sometimes all you do is just send your boombot into hookah or maybe send it down the U-Haul, and then you don't have to worry about it. As soon as someone breaks it, you'll know that somebody is present over there. So you don't actually need to commit resources over there. Sometimes the Jet can just smoke off the U-Haul and then continue making her way into it. But then that smoke lasts only for 4 seconds. How many angles are you going to go check in 4 seconds before you have to be worried about U-Hauls once again?
They're gonna push through the smoke, so that's another factor.
Yeah, and they can push through the smokes. At least they can't push through the boombot. They can elect to ignore it for a second, get a kill, and then break the boombot or something like that. But then the boombot will give away your position at some point or the other. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. I think if we do see a race, it will be in Bind and not in any other map. I don't even think they'll pick it up in Ascent, and I do agree with your point over there. But without further ado, we don't need to theorycraft about what agents we'll be seeing anymore. Let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, we're gonna be jumping right into the frame with the agent selection here, and ooh, Team Exploit. You're trying to tickle my funny bone here if you try and pick up that character, but it feels like that agent could not be a pickup here. It's gonna be King just hovering up above that KO, but a KO on the map of Icebergs.
I don't know how I feel about
That's
this
interesting, dude. That's interesting. We have not seen this. Oh, he's not gonna go for it. Come on, just pick it up. Pick it up. Do it.
Race?
I told you there is a possibility. Raids is a pretty strong character here, but without a double initiator, I don't know how much value this race is going to get if they opt to pick this one up. Exploit, they're not from our region, so we would expect them to try something a little bit more different according to their own region. So what does the side of Pakistan have in store for us?
At least Team Valor are going for a very standard lineup.
Yeah, we just know about it. We don't
Yeah,
even
it's
talk about
standard.
it.
Nothing to write home about. Exactly. Now, 4 out of the 5 characters that Team Exploit have picked up are standard, to Icebox, but the 5th
never
one
mind. He's debating.
just went back to a Killjoy. I mean, we went through all this much. We thought about a potential KO, potential raise, and now we just go back to Killjoy. So, yeah, it's the carbon copy lineup. Everyone's just doing the same thing.
It's just a really safe lineup. Double Sentinel just allows you to really hold down multiple different cyclines. Even executions are quite simple. As soon as you farm up the ult points for the lockdown, it's just a really safe composition. You just can't go wrong with it. But at the same time, come on. A KO is just a lot more fun. You can throw out a knife, you can go in for mad dash plays, you can just throw in flashes, sometimes flash your own teammates as well. Like, it's a lot of fun times, but Team Exploit, they just don't want to have those fun times. Not just yet. They want to set their pace throughout the entire tournament before they want to do something different. And Team Valor, you know for a fact that they're much more of the serious ones. They are not going to fool around. They're going to constantly go in for plays. The main fool around teams that I would always have to say has to be True Rippers, because they love to, meme it down through. They like to have fun throughout the entire game, and they want to showcase what they can do. But these 2 squads, they're just ready and they're just gunning for a win here.
I'm actually surprised to see Hunter on a Killjoy.
Wait a second. This is what I was telling you.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of expected Hunter to be on the Sova. He has really good timing with that character. It's Bullet on the Sova this time around, Pasha Sahil on the Viper, Buster on the Sage, and like you said, the new player JN is going to be on the Jet. I think it does make sense to put the newer player on the Jet, because then he can do his own stuff. I mean, if you're gonna put him on a character like something like Soa, and then the entire team is dependent on his information, and if he doesn't do it right, if he doesn't gel well with the team, then things can go wrong. But with the Jet, if he just goes ahead, and even if he dies all by himself, at least the more important characters who can gather information for you or who can gather more map control for you are still alive. So that does make sense over here. On the side of Team Exploit, King is on the Killjoy. We have Shooter on the Jet as expected. Soulmate picking up the Viper. Darky on the Sage this time around. Now that's a little interesting. I would have expected Darky to be on the Viper and Soulmate to be on the Sage, but it just went the other way around. But HSB on the Sova, we know what to expect from this particular guy. So the only surprises over here really are Soulmate and Darky switching roles.
Yeah, now it's gonna be a really interesting fact. But the thing is, Crips, I don't mind players switching up their roles if they're really good at it, if they're very proficient at it. But the thing is, proficiency from player to player for multiple different agents can be really different. Will it really hurt them here? Because I know for a fact that Darky's an incredible controller player, but maybe Soulmate, he just plays the better Viper in this situation, and that's why he's going to be there. It's going to be interesting to say the very least of how they're going to be pushing it forward, but Shooter! Ooh, he was played with fire right there. He nearly died as well. JN, he missed him by a bare centimeter, but Soulmate, you have to say that this guy's Viper wall was so beautiful to get him out of that sticky situation.
Yeah, definitely. That's the kind of coordination I'm talking about. You put up your utility to get your teammates out of that sticky situation without having to use the Jet, but then, without having to use the dash, but then they both die anyway, and Team Valor are able to just brute force their way into the B side. There are still more players available over here, and that's what I was talking about. Team Exploit, they rotate pretty quickly. King already up here, the shock darts, they help him, and they make his job easier. But in a 3v3 situation, the Nanostorm grenades will be planted, and everyone from the side of Team Valor has now taken a safe position. Let's see how they deal with this now.
One player has already been spotted down on the back end of Yellow Bull. It's gonna be good for a little bit of damage, but he's not gonna be good for a kill. The 3 versus 3 started off so well, but it's just not gonna be working out in his favor. And Darky, this is the guy you want to see. This is the guy you want to hope for. And the lineup's just not gonna be clean. And the lineup was off by just a little bit. But even if he landed that lineup, they wouldn't have gotten this. They have enough LP collectively to get that half diffuse and then get that full. So, in a way, just that kind of hurt, man. That was such a good round and such a good entry from Team Valor, but when it came down to the post plans, they were just not playing for the trades. They were much more singled out there.
Yeah, even I kind of feel so. Especially the first 2 kills. King was able to get that one shot onto the first player. That was kind of okay. I mean, if you get that shot off, I won't be too mad. But then the second kill, how he was able to get on top of that barrier orb and shoot directly under him. That shouldn't have happened. People should have been able to deal with King. And the shock touch just made his job a lot more easier. He did not even have to connect a headshot for that one. Just a simple body burst, and that's the job done.
Ooh, Darky, you're playing with fire right here. You do not want to go up against the sheriffs and these guys. Just waiting, they're just chilling, and this is a very unorthodox strategy here as well, Crips, because to go towards the B side right off the get-go and just constantly force out the B side, it's quite deadly, quite dangerous, Darky!
Nice!
He really missed out a couple of shots there. That was a little bit questionable, but it's completely fine if he does get the kill at the very end of the day. Shots are going to be clean. Darky with his third. He's looking for his fourth. He wanted his eighth, but it's just not going to be happening. Instead, it's going to be Hunter being the one to shut him on down. Darky, he woke up on the right side of the bed today, it seems. Right off the get-go, 6-1 on the scorecards, and 1 more point off your resurrection as well. Battle Sage is on the server here, ladies and gentlemen, and you better be beware of Dark.
Oh, this is not just the Battle Sage. This is the Tank Sage right now. How on earth did he stay alive, peeking 3 people at the same time like that? And barely took any damage? What kind of armor is Darky wearing? I want that.
Yeah, he's wearing Kevlar, my man. Kevlar is just that good.
No. Kevlar protects you from regular bullets. This thing protected him from 3 teammates. Like, he got triple peaked right there. Like, this is like some Dragonbone or Daedric armor from Skyrim or some stuff like that.
That's for sure, man. I mean, consider all of the factors that are being taken into consideration. If they're able to get away with plays like this, okay, that's a massive stack out towards the A side, and they're just pushing. They just don't care. King is holding down from inside outside, but he's pretty much on his lonesome. This is a 4-man push from the side of A. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a ginormous flag, and King is just able to hold down strong for a little while longer. things are going to be working out in their favor, but still at the same time, this is a bloodbath down towards that B side. They're expecting only one player here. They're not expecting multiple. This is bad. Team Valor, this is a pincer and a half. They have no way of
Oh no, they're burning.
even.
And this is the death trap, the slow and the shock darts and the nanoswarm. That's gonna melt
Shooter.
everybody over there. Shooter, he just never stood a chance. He was already pretty low on health. Bullets being tagged. He's gonna get pre-fired any second now. Almost lined them all up, but Hunter will be able to bring things back to some extent. They need to hurry towards the B side right now. They have control of the spike. There is a player on the site in form of King, and he might just be able to stop the plan from happening. Hunter goes down. JN now trapped just outside of Snowman. 1v3 required off of him. The spike dropped in a very awkward situation, but if he can isolate these frags by going and killing HSB first, there might be a chance. Oh, he never even gets off the starting line. Like I said, I mean, I talked about the tank stage in the previous round, but at this point, the entirety of Team Exploit is a tank. They're slow, but they are goddamn indestructible. When they roll towards you from the attacker's spawn, the alarm bot went off, and I think Team Valor would have expected like one player, but then there's 4 people over there. Like I said, it's a slow tank, but it's gonna crush you beneath its tracks.
Feels like there is no kinks in the armor of Team Exploit. The way that they're moving around, the way that they're hitting all of their shots is just so clean as well. Did you see what happened in that last round as well? Slow systematic plays, but Bullet, ooh, he got a one tap on the ward, but Shooter's gonna be able to slap Bullet in the forehead to get that revenge kill. Darky's gonna be good for 1 kill as well on towards the back end. It's already down to a 5 versus 3 situation, making a 5 versus 2. Just making a 5 versus 1 already. Yeah, just as I called him. Poor old Pasha, he's all on his lonesome to try and bring Untold back.
Sahil too. I feel a little bad for the players of Team Valor. I mean, 2 headshots were connected, but the Sheriff at that range deals only 145 damage, so no kills going in their favor. But I haven't seen anything unique out of Team Valor just yet. The first 3 rounds, it was slow B pushes. The 4th round, it was a slow A push. They're not taking mid control at all. They're not faking. They're not mixing things up. They're just straight up walking towards one side and hope that it's going to work for them. So yeah, that kind of one-dimensional plays from the side of Team Valor, it's not gonna cut it. They need to do something better. They need to do something more. But the moment I say that, they go for the same old, a push towards the B side with only Viper in the form of Pasha Sahil holding for a potential backstab. Now this might be good. Team Valor have been backstabbed on multiple occasions, so if they put Pasha Sahil over here, this might just help them net at least 1 kill. But Darky has a resurrection available. Shooter has his Blade Storm too. So those 2 ultimates will make things a little awkward for the side of Team Valor. Lockdown's been committed by Hunter. Luckily, no Hunter's Fury available from the side of Bullet just yet. I'm sorry, from the side of HSB just yet. So they can't do anything. But then they can't really go for the plant either. The wall is not perfect. The shock darts are stopping them from going for the plant. And Pasha Sahil finally with the backstab is able to pick up King. Now that's one of the danger players out of the server. Now that they have a man advantage and the spike plant, they should be able to hold on to this. But they only have players towards yellow and towards the B main area. They don't have any control towards the mid boxes or oranges. So this might just end up in a ninja defuse if people try to cover the diffuser. Oh my goodness, Buster lining people up. The recon dart also revealing everybody to the toxin screen, letting them 3 kills. It's just Soulmate left, and he's got quite a lot of shots.
Dude, that's gonna hurt. That has gotta hurt right there. He thought that he was gonna get a 1 tap. He just shot out 1 bullet, and he's like, oh, he's just dead. And then he's just like, wait, did I hit the full shoulder? Oh no, I just hit the shoulder, didn't I? Sadly, he was just not able to survive that. It was a good try though, I have to say. Like, Soulmate, he nearly pulled off a miracle, but the miracle just did not happen. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Team Exploit, they lose out on 1 round, but it's completely fine. Nothing to really worry about. They can just push it all down, and they can bring it all back. Like, what are you actually worried about here for the side of Team Valor? Because in a way, you need to weigh out the problems. You need to weigh out what's really the thorn in your sides. And the main thorn in the sides is that Team Valor, they need to try and alleviate this pressure from the Viper. If they're able to just move around in a way that the Viper is not able to get a lot of value or get a lot of potency in the way he's positioning himself, then they're going to be able to take this away. Then they're going to be the ones to bring it all back. Soulmate in this situation is being such a massive thorn on their sides that in the last round, just because Soulmate was not there to hold down onto the side, they're able to bring it all back. But Team Valor, this is a dangerous game that you're playing. You do not want to go into a Viper split, especially if it is being held by Soulmate. This guy is just causing a lot of problems here, moving on down the line. So let's see how we're going to be moving things down from here in particular, because with the slow push being taken on towards the mid angle, Pasha is just trying to gain some information. He's trying to see if he can bait out a rotation. With so many players holding down towards that A side, Soulmate can just hold it by himself pretty much with the Sova right on his side. Shooter's going to be heading on down over towards the angle of mid to see if he can find something. But the entirety of Team Valor, they're on the B sidelines. They're waiting for another B execution, and it feels like they're in love with the B side already here. They've gone to the B side for the last 6 rounds.
Oh no. See, this is the whole thing I was worried about. You wait for too long for an execute, and then things will start to go wrong. There's a nanoswarm which will stop them from planting. A Killjoy ultimate put up. They will have to abandon the spike plant and run away from that place, otherwise they'll get detained. And the round is gone. It's lost just like that. Team Valor lose the round without making a single move. And 4 of them staying alive after the timer runs out. That's a disaster for your economy.
Oh, this is gonna hurt quite a lot. Team Valor, they still have enough to go in for one more buy round with 4 of their players still staying alive. They can still go in for a buy, but are you really fighting to keep your economy alive, or are you fighting to try and keep yourself inside of the game still? It's a 5-1. It's gonna possibly head down over to a 6-1 as well. Like, you don't really know what to expect anymore. Soon enough, this just be a problem. They need to try and figure something out here, because Team Valor, they're dropping rounds like it's nobody's business, and a lot of the rounds that they do drop is because of rookie mistakes. They're playing it so scared. I understand you want to show respect towards the side of TEAMXO, but showing too much respect is also bad, and I always talk about this. Respect needs to be earned. It doesn't need to be given.
Yeah, but this is the first time that they're trying something new. They go into mid, something that they haven't done before. Barrier Orb will make sure that they can cross over towards oranges, but now that they're in the side, they need to be worried about King, and Shooter picks them off through the fences. King drops down on the ground, and everyone from the side of Team Valor are dropping like flies. The plant finally has been committed, but King with his wall bangs and Shooter with the precise shots, he's just berserk right now.
Another one! Oh no, that's kind of sad, dude. If he hit that shot, that would have been the best clip ever. 4K for the side of Shooter, but it just did not happen. Instead, it's going to be 2K for King, and it's going to be King and Shooter, the dynamic duo, being able to systematically shut everyone down. And with that, that's going to be a pretty rough time for the side of Team Valor. They still have enough to eke out one more buy, but how much is one more buy going to help you against an operator in the hands of Shooter?
Exactly. At least they have 3 ultimates, and 3 of them can be deadly, especially Bullet's ultimate can be great. So maybe if they don't have the weaponry, they can use them for victory. But I kind of feel bad because the first time Team Valor go for a mid push or something out of the ordinary, they get shut down like that. Before this, they've only been trying those vanilla A and B executes, and they haven't been working for them either. So they finally mustered up the courage to try something new, and they were shut down. I don't know how that's going to bode for the mental health of Team Valor over here, because they're falling back to their good old vanilla A executes. And I say good old, but let's be honest, there's nothing good about this one. Oh my god. Now I'm starting to feel a little bit nervous. At least they found out where the Opper is. The nanoswarm grenades will stop the Opper from peeking once again. But Darky whiffing the shots, that's the opening they were looking for. They still need to wait for the toxin screen to go down. JN butchers HSB. That's the opening that JN has been trying to get for such a long time. But he just about gets it. Time in the favor of Team Valor right now. The pressure is on for TEAMXO. They have a resurrection available as well, but I don't think he will be possible anymore. Yeah,
oh my god, Shooter!
How is he doing all this? These shots are nearly impossible. I hope the nanoswarm grenades will stop them from defusing just yet. But they know exactly where Pasha Hill is.
Give it the ice! Give it the ice! Oh, come on, King.
It's completely okay. As long as they're getting a dominant lead 7-1, I don't think Shooter's gonna be too worried about an ace. He's got all the stylish frags already, and he's got the most important frags too. Like, what on earth was that shot onto Buster? Well, I can't explain that. Logic cannot explain that. And Buster was a very important player over there. He was the one who had the resurrection available. What's even better, that the one teammate who died was in a safe position. He can easily revive him. But the moment Buster tries to fall back and get that player back up, he's been shut down. And that too from an angle that he never expected to be shot from.
A little bit too antsy here. They need to slow things down. They need to try and think things just a tiny little bit slower. The fact that they're overdoing it so much is what's causing them a lot of these problems. The discipline from Team Valor, the discipline that we know them for, it's not there. They didn't need to go in for the resurrection, not just yet. It was a 3 versus 3 situation. If it was a 3 versus 2, if you had the smoker still alive, then yeah, for sure, go in for a play like that. But you had no smokes. You didn't have anything to work with, and to push out for a revive in such a high pressure scenario, especially when you know for a fact that the Jet is still alive, who has an operator in their hands. Things just fell apart right there.
Yeah, but he never knew that he's gonna get shot from that angle. He thought that the survivor is safe. And also, one more thing, you mentioned a slow play. I mean, sure, slowing things down might just help you deal with the utility from Team Exploit, but you need to bait out that utility from them. You need to make sure that Team Exploit use up everything in their arsenal right at the start so that there's nothing left to stop you when you go for the final push. Because if you don't do any of that, you're just going to end up repeating what happened in round number 5. You're just going to end up losing the round without even making it to the site.
To be an even more problematic situation now that they're being forced on 20 people. They're taking it slow, they're taking it steady, but now that one member's already gone down, Shooter, he spotted out the player, he's playing with fire here, but Jihad, he could just go in for a one-tap. Come on, Jihad, show me!
Right.
Oh, dude, if he hit that one tap, that would have been insane, but sadly, it's just not gonna happen.
What is this? It's like a shooting gallery. Soulmate and Shooter just destroying everybody. Yeah, pun intended. Thanks for catching on to my jokes, bro. But yeah, these guys are just shutting everyone down on B. The 2 people who tried to move in from the mid side, I believe King. So there's really nothing that Team Valor are able to do over here. They thought that going via the tubes will keep them safe. That just did not happen. And Team Valor, they're not just choking in terms of strategy at this point, but they're also not able to pick up individual frags. Like, Buster's on 4 kills. That's the highest number of kills that someone has. Whereas on the other hand, Shooter has 10 more kills than him. And because of all that confidence, look at the amount of plays he's going to make right now. He's behind them already, and he butchers Buster and Bullet. It's simple. He gets away with murder in cold blood, and nobody punishes him.
What are these 2 up to? King and Shooter. They've been doing so much that Darky and Soulmate, they've just not seen any form of action yet. Soulmate finally gets a kill, but that's just the ending frag onto Hunter. And 17-4 for Shooter. This is what, the 11th round now, perhaps?
Yeah.
And he's at 17-4.
What's more than that is that most of these have been double kills, triple kills.
He's been getting 2 kills consistently every single round.
Exactly. And this time he got 3. What did he do? He went in from tube, and Team Valor thought, there's no way somebody can backstab us this early in the round. Right? Right?
Wrong.
And then Shooter shows up.
Shooter's like, you underestimate my power.
This is like an anime battle right here.
Yes, this is a true anime battle right here, ladies and gentlemen. And now Darky could just be the protagonist of one, or he could end up being the collateral damage as well. Like, you know, the one person the writer really hates, but the fandom really loves. He's the one getting taken out every single time.
Yeah, and it's such an unfortunate that he got pinged through the recon dot, got revealed via the toxin screen, and there's not much he could do. And the recon dot provided so much value. Like, not just the kill on the dark, but the Hunter's beauty kill as well. I think that this round can be credited to Bullet. He was the one who was able to get those 2 crucial frags. If not him himself, at least he helped his teammates do it. And finally, Team Valor were able to make this work by not slowing things down, by picking up the pace instead. Value for utility.
The utility being such a crucial factor here for the side of Team Valor, and in a way, this is a round that I expected to come out from them to switch things up. They've been playing so slow throughout the entirety of this matchup that they finally picked everything back up. They're able to go fast. They're able to shut down their opposition. But the thing is, are they doing this a little bit too little too late?
Yeah.
It's just falling apart piece by piece. They need to go in faster. And once again, they're going back to a default on the final round of a half. And look
I
at
don't think
Shooter!
I don't think I've seen them do a default at all. It's just been A pushes, B pushes, sometimes mid. But nobody's looking the right way. They knew Shooter was up there, but they still don't account for him. And why would they? They thought the Shooter would fall back after getting one kill. Who knew that he would be brave enough to go for a second peek?
He just doesn't care, man. He's playing the
I know.
Squid Games out here. He's like that soldier that's just running around, just popping people before he can even imagine. He's just really fighting it out. But Hunter, he could be the deciding factor here. He needs to go in for the skill. He's got to be the one to find it as well. Sending it down to over a 4 versus 3. But even this 4 versus 3 is not favorable for them. It's all up to Pasha. If he's able to find something here, it can Darky and HSB. It's just... They're shattering the hopes and dreams. It's 10-2.
Wow.
This is a 10-2 here, Chris. This is the home map of Team Valor.
Switching sides.
And they were starting on the attacking side too. I mentioned that if they get the timing right, this will be perfect. But the timing was horribly wrong. Nobody even accounted for the Opera to be in that position at that particular time. And this did not just happen in this round. This has been happening multiple times. Shooter at 21 frags at the end of just the first half. Now that's a horror story in itself. If this was at least a 9-3, at least we would have said that, yeah, this is the cursed scoreline, there is a comeback possible, but 10-2 is not one of those cursed scorelines. This is the scoreline that indicates dominance.
No way, yeah. TEAMXO, they're the ones to here win it all, and Team Valor, they're just falling apart. They don't know what to expect here. They don't know what to do even to try and take on a roster like this. It's just... How do you push yourself forward? How do you try and figure something out here? What's going wrong for you? And in a sense, Team Valor, the main thing that they really need to do is to just mesh together, huddle up, bunch up, and be like, hey, boys, we gotta calm down. We gotta understand that it's all right. It's fine that we're here in this situation. It's fine that we are not able to win out on a couple of these rounds. We just need to build ourselves to be stronger when it comes down to the map of Bind, because Bind is also a really strong map for the side of Team Valor, and in a way, them picking up Icebox, that's why it was the biggest question mark for me, because Pixels, he was the star player on their Icebox composition, and now that he's not here, them picking up this map again, they don't have the team chemistry and coordination, especially when you consider Pasha being on the Viper. Once again, I love Pasha as a player. He's such a good player when it comes down to playing duelists, but he's not yet meshed together to play on a controller role, especially on a Viper, which is pretty much the hardest controller to play because you need to communicate with your roster and set up your walls and your smokes properly every single time. Team Valor, in a way, they're just not ready yet for the map of Icebox.
And they were ready at one point. It was one of their stronger maps, but not anymore. Times have changed, players have changed, and unfortunately the scoreline, it just keeps on declining further and further.
In a way, now with the pause taken into consideration, a little bit of a technical difficulty from the side of TEAMXO, we're going to be waiting. We're just going to be chilling just for a little while longer. The match is just about to start as well here, ladies and gentlemen. And in a way, I'm kind of lost for words. They need to pull off miracles here. They cannot miss a single shot. It's all about the aim now, Crips. I don't think strategy is going to save them. If they miss, there's no way to come on back from this.
Oh, but the aim is here. Buster with the classic. He delivers again and again. Bullet comes into trade, but he gets instantly taken down by Shooter, so all his effort is down the drain. At least JN can bring it back to some extent. The nanoswarms are stopping them from coming onto the side just yet, but HSB on the high ground could catch a couple of players off guard. Soulmate extending more further than he should. And at this point, it's come down to a stalemate. Both the teams just holding their angles, hoping that someone overcommits and dies. But they are all disciplined. The Dawson screen now allows Team TEAMXO to move it further. And JN gets caught looking the wrong way. Bait and switch from HSB and Soulmate. Soulmate makes noise towards the left-hand side. He looks in that direction, and then HSB strikes from the right. That's the opportunity that they were looking for. And it's 2v2.
Are you serious?
Hunter doesn't check that angle. These things have gone from bad to worse.
How did you... How and why and what? The communication breakdown from the side of Team Valor. What's happening here? They could have played it slow, they could have played it systematically. Things are just not really going in their favor. Crips! How?
They needed this. They needed this pistol desperately, but I thought that maybe
Why?
with the kills from Pasha Sahil, they would have a chance. No, sorry, not Pasha Sahil. Maybe with the kills from Pasha, they would have a chance, but things just went horribly wrong. But hey, I can't really blame Team Valor for this one. It was Team Exploit that actually did a great job over here, especially that baiting switch from Soulmate and HSB. And then Hunter doesn't check the angle, so things just go from bad to worse.
It's just...
It's Team Exploit forcing errors out of Valor.
Yeah.
If you can do that, if you can make your opponents just make silly mistakes like these, then you clearly are the superior team over here. Yeah, sure, your own strategies might be great, but if you can cause a communication breakdown in your opponents, if you can enter their minds and get prime real estates inside their primal cortex, well, then there's no other better predator than you.
Situation. Pasha, he wanted to try to become the hunter, but in the sense, he's the one getting hunted now. That drone's gonna force him out that corner. And this is the last ditch effort for them. What more than can they do here? They have really broken buys. They're trying to fight for something. JN, he needs to make this Marshall sing, but still Hunter with the nanoswarm's gonna be good for 1 kill, but that's all that he's gonna get. Shooter's instead gonna be the one to shut down 2. HSB's gonna be able to shut down another bullet. It's gonna be good for 1 kill at the bare minimum, sending it down over to a 2 versus 3 situation. But with the heal now going in the favor of the side of Shooter, he's now back healthy once more. He can still take a fight. He can still shut everyone down. And look at the post-plant positioning from the side of Team Exploit. They have such forward positions. The crossfires are going to be beautiful as well. No one's going to go untraded. There's no way they're going to be able to survive. Buster takes a backseat as well, and poor old Bullet, even if he gets 1 kill, how are you going to take down 2? Not when they're going to be going in for a double peek. The crossfires, man. It's immaculate from their side.
Exactly, and you compare these to the post-plant positions that Team Valor was holding whenever they got a B plant. Most of those players were either towards yellow or towards the B greens, back all the way in the spawn area. So nobody was holding forward positions from the side of Team Valor. Whereas Team Exploit, on the other hand, they have one player playing off of that barrier orb, one more towards the radar tower, and then that same player can go ahead and pick up positions near yellow as well in case things go wrong and they need to fall back and get into safer positions. That's the major difference between Team Valor and Team Exploit. They pick up those risks and they make them work.
Making it all happen, but once again, it's going to be an A-side execution, but with the players now being spotted outside B, Team Valor, they need to make a decision. Or do they want to play it aggressive? Do they want to play it safe? Because they need to figure it all out now. Buster needs to go in for this kill. He's going to be finding 1, but he's just not going to be able to find the second. Shooter coming on down through as the majestic angel that he is. He's going to be able to shut down 1 player at the bare minimum, but JN, he's playing with fire. He's going to be good for 1 kill, but Shooter, he's going to be the one to immediately get that second. 3 versus 3 on the map. Hunter's going to be able to shut down another one. 2 versus 3 on the map. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they're able to find the kills, but Bullet, oh no, he's went in for the shots a little bit too early. Bullet! The trigger discipline didn't help him out at all, and Shooter's gonna be the one to shut him down instead. Being able to thread the needle so beautifully, and now Darky, he's in the most disgusting position out of all of them. The position that he's holding, this is not pre-fireball. No one's gonna clear this angle even.
Exactly.
Darky can just get 3 kills. 1 free kill. He's gonna get a second one as well. Come on, this is not how it ends, man. This is not how it ends.
Under normal circumstances, that position would have been horrible, but given the circumstances and given the fact that nobody would be expecting him over there, nobody would check it, that turns into a ridiculous off angle that Team Valor will never see coming. And they don't even see the 3rd round. 13-2. A spanking from the side of Team Exploit, and Team Valor will be feeling devastated after leaving a massive, massive gap in their armor on Icebox and on their home turf too. I can't even imagine what their mindset would be like going into Bind. I'm actually starting to feel scared for them now.
I don't know what to expect anymore here, Crips. It's just a heartbreaking story and a half. I'm gonna need to get myself a can of Red Bull. You guys should as well by scanning the QR code down below. Get yourself a can of Red Bull. Get yourself energized because we got to strap in for a really rocky ride for the side of Team Valor. We're gonna be talking a little more about that as we do head on down over towards the match highlights because, in a way, this is kind of a heartbreaking tale in general here, Crips, because we'd expect a lot more from Team Valor, especially with the track record that they have coming from the side of season number 2. Going up against the side of Team Exploit, it felt like there was so many gaps in their armor that Team Exploit were
Exactly.
just able to exploit every single one of them. They just found a gap, immediately jumped on top of it. 2 versus 5s even, when they didn't have the proper guns. They still pulled off incredible clutches, and Team Valor, they were just giving them a lot of mistakes to work with as well. The buddy system so beautiful from the side of Team Exploit, and in my eyes, Team Valor, the team that was known to play the buddy system the best pretty much out of everyone else,
They just
they're
crumbled
now being
today.
schooled. Yeah, they're pretty much being schooled throughout the entire matchup here.
Exactly. And I can't even point one particular thing what went wrong for Team Valor.
It was pretty
Simply
much
because there
everything.
were just several. Yeah, almost everything went wrong. First of all, the timing was just completely off. There were these rounds where they were not even able to get to the site simply because they were just debating whether should we go A, should we go B. And by the time they tried to go in, there were like, what, 20 something seconds left. And the nanoswarms were activated. The shock darts came in. They can't even get the plant. And that's how the cookie crumbles. That basically left Team Valor crippled for the next 3 or 4 rounds. And they never had a decent enough buy, which let Team Exploit go on an even more of a roll.
Exploit the way that they were aiming as well, man. Like this much confidence, it should be illegal for sure. Because shooter just jumping around, diving into corners with a
Dry
operator.
peeking.
Dry picking. He's like pretty much SK Rossi level of confidence. He's just going out, he's just popping heads, and he just does not care. In a way, man, I really am hoping to see Team Exploit going up against GE soon enough. That's going to be a match that I really want to see. Rossi versus Shooter, both of them being this aggressive as Jets. It's going to be an interesting tale, and hopefully, I'm really hopeful that at one point that Exploit should be able to head on down over to playoffs for such an incredible match. Yeah. Oh, sorry, not. I mean, moving on down the line when GE does come back, then it's going to happen. I absolutely slipped my mind that GE is not going to be played in this season. It's kind of weird as well when you consider it.
Yeah, it is. Not to see one of the best teams in the region in the tournament. It's kind of sad, but hey, at least Team Exploit are living up to their name. They are the ones who are filling in the gaps for all the action that we might probably miss. And Team Exploit right now, they're playing like absolute madmen. I mean, the discipline is great, but sometimes the peaks that they go for, they just seem so indisciplined. They just seem so overconfident, but they still work. Like, even when they look like they know what they are doing, and even when we feel that it's risky, it just still works. I mean, so many times my anxiety, my spidey senses would be tingling and telling me this dry peak probably might not work for you, but it always ends up working. And I don't know how they make it work. It's just exploit magic right now. Let's see if Valor can bring up their own magic in the next game or not, because now we're going to be going into exploits map bind. And when we're heading into the den of the belly, I'm sorry, when we're heading into the den of the lion, it's just, you got to bring your best hunting rifle with you.
And a couple of traps as well in the process, because Bind is a map for fast execution, heavy rushes. That's the name of the game. A lot of different strategies can work out in that map in particular as well. And when you know the track record of Team Valor and the fact that they're having a pretty rough time on the map of Bind, don't really know what to exploit. And if Team Exploit, they're able to pull off their strategies beautifully, Team Valor, they could be in a really bad pickle as well. But we're going to be setting up map number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to be back real shortly with the LG Ultragear, Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial, and our apparel partners are none other than 656. We're going to head on down over into a short break, and we'll be right back.
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial, our apparel partners, and none other than 656. It's going to be your boy Aggressive with Crips coming on back onto the desk, presenting map number 2 to you. And after such a landslide of a victory from map number 1 here, Crips, I don't really know what to expect anymore, because 13-2 on your home map, that is not how you want the entire series to start off.
Trust me, it's not just the series at this point. I mean, these are one of the first few games in the tournament for Team Valor. And if you end up taking a big L like this right at the beginning, it's not going to set a good mood for you later on during the league stage. But for Team Exploit, this is a great beginning, because if you take a look at the stakes of this game, the team that wins this game will be the first team to get 4 points in the league. And then they will be on the top of the table. So it's going to take a lot of effort to dethrone them from that top position. And with them getting this lead in such a dominant fashion too, means they're going to be denying points to Team Valor. And their confidence boosts up, right? Because if they can pull off stuff like this against Team Valor, then they can pull it off against other teams in the league too. And Valor are not any bunch of pushovers. They are one of the stronger teams in the league. They have a lot of trading potential. They have a lot of great communication. But today, none of those seem to be working for them. No trades, no communication. They actually caused a mental breakdown for Team Valor. Yeah, sure. Some of it can be chalked up to the fact that JN is new to the team and they have a new lineup and yada, yada, yada. But still, basic communication between the other 4 players also broke down.
Literally felt as though Team Valor, they were out of their element. Especially Pasha, man. Did you see Pasha perform to the best of his abilities even once? Considering how incredible he is as a player. In the way that he was positioning himself, he was not positioning himself as a controller, but rather as a pseudo-duelist, being pretty much a sage. Positioning-wise, he's not always there to help his teammates. Communication-wise, he was just not on the same caliber as Soulmate. And in my eyes, Soulmate was pretty much the one who set the pace for every single one of these fights. The way he's able to place up his Viper walls, the way that he was pulling up his toxic screens, just completely was a thorn in the sides for Team Valor. They didn't know what to do against him. And they tried to navigate through him or navigate just away from him every single time. They tried to avoid him, but if you avoid Soulmate, then there's Shooter on the other side of the map that you need to avoid as well. And then you're being forced onto mid. And when it comes down to the mid fight, you have nowhere to go. You're still getting caught out there. And if that happens on the map of mine, if Soulmate picks up the Viper again, what's Team Valor going to do? Because this is Exploit's home pick. They have to have a strategy here that's well tested. And in that sense, there's nothing that you can do to bring it all back, seemingly.
Exactly. I mean, there's Shooter on one side, there's Soulmate on the other. And if you try to stick somewhere in the middle, then King is holding down that area. There was only one round in which Team Valor tried to go for a mid to B push, and it did not end up working out for them. After that, they did try to take control of tubes a couple of times, but every time they ended up failing miserably. They did not even make it out of the long end of the tube. And that one round where Shooter was able to push down the tubes while, as a defender, he was able to get behind those 3 people and get that triple kill for himself with Justice Bladestorm That is ridiculous as well, because that happened so early in the round, and Team Valor would have never expected to get backstabbed 10 seconds into the round. There's no way anyone could have seen that.
In a way, like, we don't really know what to expect anymore. Team Valor, them dropping the ball like this for the map of Bind as well. This is a map where you cannot make a lot of mistakes. There's no wiggle room here. Like, at least in Icebox, there's a little bit of wiggle room, even if you lose out on one or two of your players. If you go through mid, if you get that first initial pick on any of one of the sidelines, you can storm in, you can get the plant play for the post play. But on Bind, rotations are really quick. It just takes what, barely 10 seconds to rotate from one side to another. You could even go in for a flank in literally 10 seconds by walking. You don't even need to run. And here, if you lose map control, if you don't have real estate to work with, you're going to fall into the worst possible position here. And in that sense, both of these squads, they're going up against one another. And considering the amount of map control I saw from Team Exploit on Icebox, this is going to be an interesting affair for sure. You can see that Crips, he's just like, no, I don't want to
Map
be in the shoes
control.
of Team Valor.
Yeah, map control for Valor just was non-existent on Icebox.
Yeah, just did not happen. They need to figure something out here, especially when it comes out in terms of their composition. Pick up that raise. Forget about the jet. The jet's just not going to happen here. Play purely based upon utility. If you want to play like that, that's how you need to go. If they want to play it slow, the utility game is what they really need to bring onto the table. If they want to go fast, just go in for Hail Mary rushes. Do not respect your opposition. If you don't respect Team Exploit, just be like that. Just go for it. You have a double initiator, you'd have a double duelist composition, and you have that single controller. The problem is, in my eyes, the single controller being Pasha still is quite the questionable factor. Maybe they need to do a couple of agent lineup switch ups, or just switch out the agents between players, because in this point here, Crips, I love Pasha as a player, but considering how he has been playing on that controller, maybe a switch up could just be necessary.
Could be. I mean, Pasha has been doing a decent enough job, but we know he can do better.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think that he can go back to the Jet.
Yeah,
But then
that's the
again,
thing.
JN being handed another character, which probably will require a lot more coordination with the team, is also not that possible. So I don't know what the play over here is going to be like. I mean, in Bind, there are many things that you can do. A double controller setup is just as viable as a double initiator one as well.
Mhm.
And if you want to just go for something completely out of the box, a double sentinel, it is frowned upon, but you can still make it work if you
course.
are smart enough. So Bind is one of those maps which does let you get away with a lot of stuff. You can try new agents, you can try new compositions in this one. It all just boils down to how well you communicate with your team, which is something that Valor haven't been doing.
Yeah, I really am interested to maybe see one of these teams finally pick up the Euro. Who knows? Possibly there's another Pakistan team out there who always picks up the Euro. They're just not able to make it here this time around, but it's completely fine and dusted here, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, I do believe that we're having a little bit more of a technical difficulty from one of the players. We're going to look into that. And hey, don't go anywhere. Make sure to get yourself a can of Red Bull, get yourself energized, and get yourself prepped up and ready, because we're fixing up the game and we're fixing up the players' issues. And we're going to be back with you real shortly with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 3 powered by Ballistics and Crucials after a short little break. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial, and our apparel partners are none other than 656. We're now jumping back into the fray, straight into the agent selections. You don't have to look at our faces for now, but you have to look at the agent selection with both of these teams now picking up their squads here. Not going in for a double initiator and a possible single sentinel composition with a Sage and not even a Cypher or a Killjoy. This is a very aggressive composition from the side of Team Valor. They don't have any defenses. But now, what will the side of Team Exploit pick up here?
Hey man, there's an old wise man somewhere, probably by the name Sun Tzu, who said that attack is the best defense.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
guess.
that's what Team Valor believe in right now. Two duelists, the Jet and the Raze, both come out. I thought maybe one of them will come out by either one of these teams, but then both from the side of Team Valor, they like characters that can get mobility on this one. So
Select
yeah,
your
Team Valor
agent.
just deciding not to repeat Icebox slow pace attacks and just replace them with very high paced jabbling of some sorts. I'm kind of worried about this one because then Team Exploit have a little bit more of a balanced lineup. Like they have two initiators, one in the form of Sova and the Breach. The Jet Breach combos will definitely be great, but they also have two controllers. I discussed that a double controller setup and a double initiator setup are both viable in bind, but I didn't expect them both to be picked up at the same time. And then
Hey,
on the other
I was
hand,
expecting this. I love this composition, but I love this composition with a Raze. With a Jet, it's a little bit questionable.
yeah. I mean, I expected either a double initiator or a double controller, but then we got them both in a single team. And then on a completely different tangent, we have a double duelist by Team Valor. Like, what even is this? Everything is being pumped up by 2x over here. So, this is going to be a good game. Although I do believe that the composition of Team Exploit is a little better over here. I mean, they have more tactical supremacy. And this will be helpful for them because they're starting on the attacking side. The double controllers obviously give them a lot more opportunity to play brain games. But as the Jet Breach combo combined with the Sova can help you see through the toxin screens and just get plenty of frags right off the bat.
That's how the ball rolls onto their court. I think they'll be able to do it, though. It's going to be the real question. Oh my god, Shooter. He's already there. He's inside of Labs. Oh my god, he's still pushing. He's going to the spawn now. Get a kill, Buster. He's not gonna expect this. Who
No
is
chance.
bad enough? Who is ballsy enough to push into this far? Shooter's gonna be good for one kill. He's looking for one more. Hunter's gonna be the one to shut him down instead. So he's gonna be good for one. Pasha's gonna be able to take down the second here. Pasha, he's gonna be good for his third. Shutting everyone down with Hunter being on the top end as well. The round just started and it's already over. It feels like the side of Team Exploit, they just got bamboozled. And even
Yeah.
I'm bamboozled here. I'm on the caster's desk. I'm trying to figure everything out here, kids.
Yeah, they got a little too excited. They had all their players in very aggressive positions. Only one of their players was playing inside of bathrooms as a potential backstabber who will come in and then somehow try to bamboozle Team Valor by coming in late after Team Valor have already cleared out bots. So that happened. And then Team Exploit thought that because they have aggressive positions, they'll try to fight towards Heaven and towards the Defender entrance right at the right off the bat. It just did not end up working out for them, especially when Pasha Sahil was picking up those triple kills with the Ghost. So, on the basis of just aim, Team Valor are able to win their first round.
Also, too, here in this situation as well, Bullet, he's holding it down strongly on his own accord. He has Buster on his side, so a little bit of chip damage to work with. So in a way, a chunk of damage being given already. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be strong for them. But so big, he's gonna be able to shut down one of the players. And Buster with the goal!
Spike
He's
down,
alone more,
B.
and the lead is gonna be the side of Team Exploit. They're not gonna be able to go anywhere. Just be taking a good chunk of damage as well because of that grenade. Shots are going to be taken. There's nothing that they can do. And Hunter, with such a beautiful ghost in his hand, is going to be the one to shut down pretty much everyone. And a pseudo-flawless, I guess. Pretty much it would have been a flawless, but Bullet, he kind of just got caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, those kind of spray downs are what give you confidence. Buster with the triple spray down with the Spectre, and then Hunter with more to follow from that Ghost. That's the kind of stuff that we've been looking for from the side of Team Valor. That's the firepower that they harbor, and just now they start to unleash it.
how the pushes are gonna be making fun of this now. They need to figure something out here. Oh my god, shooter. I didn't mean figure something out in the sense of just dashing in through through an called nebula, then through a gravity well, and then also a sun in the background. The entirety of Team Valor are like, nope, nope, we ain't doing this anymore. You're just gonna walk away from it very slowly.
The aggression and the utility from the side of TEAMXO is actually pushing Valor back on A site. Look at them. They've been forced to give up on the site, and they're already behind in Heavens right now. But Bullet, he's already in the back lines. So even if Team Valor are losing map control on A, they make it up by going ahead and taking aggressive control on B, and with this they got the man advantage. But the spike has gone down. The two players on B are nowhere close, and by the time they arrive, the retake will not begin. But of course, if Soulmate tries to go for aggressive piece like this, he will be punished. Darky also takes a little unorthodox angle, pushes through the nebula, and ends up getting at least one kill before being shut down by Buster. But things are starting to look a little dicey right now. Nope, as soon as I say that, HSB and Shooter bring it back. HSB's position now available. 9 HP on him, a single bullet. Even a general spit in his direction should be enough. But Pasha Sahil going for the risky peeks. He was trying to stick it before he finally heard the footsteps.
A really close one from the side of Pasha. If the side of the breach just held it for a little while longer, just HSB held his confidence and held his patience, he maybe could have gotten it. But the thought that it was going through his mind has to be the time that he was facing off against SAD Well. And I still remember SAD Well in that game, Vexy was holding down on the spike, and it was HSB in pretty much the exact same situation. He was jumping in the corner, expecting that Vexy's not going to be holding down on the spike. And do you know what Vexy did? He jiggle peeked the corner twice. Jiggle peeked the corner twice, and then Vexy just stuck it. He just didn't care. I'm very sure that he was having PTSD from that game. He just didn't want to risk it to maybe, you know, go in for a play like that once again. So in a way, a really strong round and a really good start for the side of Team Valor, because all these kills is just going to be so crucial. But Soulmate, he's already pushed up. He's right behind the crates now. Maybe if he finds his kill on the Cheyenne, this is going to open everything for them on towards the A side.
Noise being made by Exploit towards the B side. Of course, when you do make noise, the leakages get plugged. Jian, though, he's not holding the right angle. He's still expecting someone to come from all the way back in a shot. But he's flicky enough to kill Soulmate the moment he reveals himself. Well, this is just an eco round from the side of Team Exploit, so I don't really expect much. A couple of exit frags, a couple of eco shots. Might be nice. Like this one. Exactly what I was talking about. Now that's a really cool shot. A sheriff versus an operator. When you win duels like that, your confidence starts to build up. And you will need this confidence, because this is looking to be a little opposite of what happened in the previous game. A 4-0 lead for Team Valor. I don't think they've experienced such a lead in the entire series so far. They haven't experienced a lead in the series so far, period. They will definitely be rejoicing this, and they better hope that they can hold on to this advantage for as long as possible.
Not get too complacent though, Cribs, because you know what happens if you get a little bit too overexcited, especially after a couple of round wins. You need to try and pace yourselves. But Bullet, this is what I mean, man. You need to start pacing yourself. This is gonna be bad.
What?
Buster?
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
No one fears it, no one flashes it, and they just try to run into
I mean, they were double peeking. There was no way that Buster should have been able to pull that off. But he did. And HSB can't do much either. It's just stylish frags from Buster all around the place. And there was no way that he was supposed to get that, right? They double peeked. It's not even like they lined up for him, no. He flicked on both of them. If they lined up, yeah, that would have been a mistake, but they did not. That was just Buster and his ridiculous flicks, ridiculous shots.
That's a close call for Buster there. He should not have gotten it, but hey, by pretty much a miracle, he was able to shut down the two players. And now Exploit, they need to go back to the drawing board again. Take it slow, take it steady, use your utility. They're getting way too excited. They're losing the discipline that they showcased on the first initial map, and that's what's really hurting them. But the side of Team Valor, it's a complete 180 from what they were pulling off before. They're being aggressive. They're not showing any form of respect, and this is what you want. Showing no respect to your opposition is just so crucial, especially when you're losing out on something like this. But still, Shooter, he's looking to go in for a fight, he's looking to go in for a play, but Shooter, he could just be taking a little bit more than he can chew on his own accord. He just get another kill for himself, and Shooter with his Blade Storm, he's the difference maker. He needs to be the one to bring everything back. Soulmates on towards the backstab as well, going in for the double peek, going in for the jiggles. Beautiful headshot on one, just one on the body, just take him on the body, man. But still,
Player standing.
it's gonna be another thrifty. There's no way they survive this. This is an easy thrifty for them. A couple of missed shots from Darky. Oh no, whiffs all around, but I don't think this is gonna happen, right? Please tell me that this is not gonna be a clutch. Oh god, JN, if you got that. If you got that.
A bit too close for comfort now, isn't it?
Can
Well,
you call
that's
me an ambulance? Can you call me an ambulance? Do I need to give you the number for my ambulance in Bangladesh?
Here.
Just give me, I don't know, set me as one of your emergency contacts, because the chances of you getting a heart attack are pretty high.
Oh god. Firstly, it was not a kill from Buster. If Buster died, if Buster got that kill on a Shooter there, this was already over. You know that as well.
Yeah. Well, it's just begun. Aggressive. It's just 5-1. And it looks like Team Valor want to do to exploit what they did to them in the previous round. Especially JN. Peeks out of bathrooms, gets a kill, gets back to safety. That's what you want from Team Valor in this round. And look at Bullet. He's all the way inside the enemy spawn. Yeah, sure, he dies, but that's completely fine. He was able to get all the way from long towards Link, and he catches one of the stronger players off guard. Now, without a Sova, there's not much that Team Exploit will have in terms of information.
Exploit, they're going in for their own push, but I like this. The Viper's Pit being used properly to get a little bit of information, get some value at the bare minimum. Spam is going to be strong, though. And Soulmate, he's not going to be able to make that push happen. But JN, you're playing with fire. That one straight shock dart could have killed you if you're not careful. But JN, he's going to be able to shut down one with a beautiful no-scope. It just be he didn't even know what hit them. Now inside of the side, it's all up to Soulmate. Shooter's going to be able to take down JN. Flying like I'm trying to stick like a bee. Shooter's going to be good for another one. Shooter, he's still alive, baby. Going for one more. Shooter with a 4K. He's going to be able to get a plant as well. Come on, it's all up to Buster. One bullet and a dream. That's what Shooter is all about. He is not going to reload. He is feeling himself, but does he know that Buster's right there? He's going to be able to rotate himself down towards that B side, but Buster still has Soul Stopper to work with as well. Shooter, it's all up to you. You need to get this kill. If you miss a single flick, it's already done and dusted. He's going to be able to go in for that plant. The plant has been placed, but he is not up to you. Go in for the ultimate. Shooter spots him out as well. He's going to go in for one shot at Shooter. You just did not do this to the side of Team Valor. 5-2 on the scorecards, and they bring themselves back into the game in the most signature and the most, I don't know, flawless way possible. Shooter, you're an absolute madman when you have that operator in your hand.
Oh my god, everything was going right for Team Valor. They got the opening picks. Jane was able to pick up the kill with the operator. He even went inside the Viper's Pit of Soulmate and got that kill, fell back to safety. And that's when the duel began between the Jet and the Jet, the Op versus Op. Both of them updrafting, trying to one-up each other, trying to play whack-a-mole mid-air. And then JN picked it off. And Shooter once again picks him off. And once JN was dead, Shooter was just going ham. He killed every single one of them. Getting off angles, catching people while they were trying to fall back to safety. It was just ridiculous what Shooter was able to pull off in the last round. And once again, he is on the top of the scoreboard with 12 frags already.
Shooter, you just... How? Why? What? If you're pulling off stuff like this, how do you explain this? You can't.
What? Why W? Throw in all the W's, man. Shooter takes those.
I'm literally going back to the Rush Tower movies. Like, you know, when I am you, you is me. That's kind of what's happening to me right now.
I don't know what's happening right now, honestly. Like, the way these guys are playing, and the way how Bullet was whipping those shots, it was just ridiculous. The brute force approach from the breach forces him to go back, but Hunter with his 6th sense catches Darky. That's the spike carrier down. The spike will go down eventually, but the man in front still lies with Team Exploit. And there's no way the Team Valor can neutralize it without getting some really breakout frags. Maybe Buster's ultimate can help them out a little bit. There you go. But the moment the party pop, the stun comes through and the party goes to waste. Ah, that's just ridiculous. How do Team Exploit get this right every time? They heard the showstopper being popped and the stun came through. He could not even release the rocket.
Timings, man, it's just so beautiful as well. Team Valor, they had a really strong lead here, but as soon as the momentum started picking up from Team Exploit, it felt like everything was just falling apart. And I think that it's all because of that 1 versus 5 situation. Shooter being able to get a 1 versus 5 in that flashy way, like any team is going to start crumbling after something like that. So taking a pause here is really smart. Hunter, being the much more experienced player, he understood that, hey, let's take a pause. We need a breather. We are making a lot of mistakes that we should not be making. We're going in for single peaks. That's the thing. Why are we finding them single one by one? We know for a fact they have the utility. Let's take it slow. Let's play it smart. Wait for my recon bolts, and then you can go in for a push like that again. Slow, systematic play. This is what they need to bring themselves back into this game once again. And now that Team Valor have taken this pause, I'm expecting them to take this down to over a 6-3. In a way, I don't think it's going to happen because they don't have enough buys, and I don't believe they're going to be going in for force buys. So this is going to be a 5-4 for sure, but 8-4 is still on the cards for the side of Team Valor if they do play their cards properly. And they also need it here, Chris, because consider something. The map of Bind is a very defender-sided map, so having a lead here on defense is going to be the best thing that you could want here to try and move over to your attack.
I think that's not going to be the case at all. I think this timeout is going to work in the favor of Team Exploit instead. I mean, this round definitely seems to be going in their favor because obviously no guns.
Yeah.
So Team Valor
JN.
can probably use this as like an extended timeout, this whole eco round.
Oh,
they can use
JN, before one.
But then Bull is not even checking the angles like this. Neither is Buster. And they both go down to the same player. JN dashing in all by himself. HSB's pre-firing him.
Oh, what? Wait, what?
Still gets it at 18 HP though, but no heals available, no guns on him now.
Imagine Jet getting nerfed.
Yeah, at least they've upgraded to Phantoms now, so they have a better chance. But barely any HP. And Hunter's all by himself over here. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna wait for the backup to arrive from the Viper, and he's getting these kills like it's nothing.
That's just nobody's business right there, but hey, somebody else's business is already up and dusted! Shooter! One of those rare misses and it's all up to Soulmate. Soulmate's not gonna be able to get it, not with 2 HP. He just doesn't have the confidence for it. 6-3 of the scorecards, and I called it, Croops. I called it.
You called it. I was wrong. This is a thrifty win. I never expected them to win the thrifty run. Yeah, sure. Maybe the next round where they have weapons, the next round where they have better stuff to work with, maybe then this tactical timeout will actually start to pay dividends. But now?
You have to thank Pasha for that. Do you know why? The gravity well came in clutch. That vulnerability allowed Hunter to go in for a one-tap. Otherwise, that Sova would not have died. You know for a fact that King would have survived that and just popped Hunter in the forehead. That would have been a 3 versus 2 situation, and Shooter could have played it a lot more safer as
well. Uh-oh. Hunter strapped. He's getting revealed too. There's no way! JN saves him!
The bait.
That was really, really good. I don't know if that was a bait or if that was just really quick thinking from JN. Hunter would have been a dead man right there.
Positions are good, positions are strong, and they're not going to be leaving this B side open any while longer. Buster's going to be going for one kill, going in for a couple of more. Hunter with that swing is going to be the one shut down King. He does get traded though, but still, hey, they're going to play for these trades all day long. It's a 4 versus 2 situation. They have nothing to worry about. Just play together as a squad. You're going to be able to hold down every single angle really beautifully as well. But the thing is here, Crips, in a way, this could go horribly wrong if they're not careful. So he spots out Buster. Play it slow, man. Play it slow. If you play it too fast, it's gonna be pretty bad. JN holding down with an operator. He misses the shot on the jiggle. He needs to give up the side and play for the retake. This is also smart. Play for the retake. Play it slow. If the side of Team Exploit are able to take this,
Welcome to
I don't. Okay, they possibly can't take this. Crips, I think it's happening.
Oh my god. Imagine losing a round after winning one thrifty. Your economy is going to be back down in the dumpster. Spike's gone down. JN with the operator up close now has to switch to a Phantom. A much better choice. But the angles that Team Exploit are holding, definitely Soulmate can stop anyone from coming through to the defender entrance. But Darky, he's responsible for making sure nobody from elbow or long can do it. Maybe the resurrection can help them out. They can throw bodies at them right now. Random bullets being connected through the smoke. They move inside the cloudburst to not get revealed by the recon dot, and it actually ends up working for them. Soulmate, the reload at the wrong time, and Bullet, he capitalizes on that timing. Oh, that was so close.
That was such a close round. There is no way that they should have even lost this one. To get it this close, even investing a revive into this, that was a really costly round from the side of Team Valor. And hey, in a way, that's completely fine for them. But at the same time, when you consider what's going to happen for the side of Team Exploit, their economy is taking a massive hit as well. They need to be forced on to another eco round here. But Team Valor, they're not looking pretty either. 2 more rounds before the round swap comes in. This is their chance to take it down to that first scoreline here, folks.
I have to appreciate it though. The quick thinking to move into the cloudburst to avoid getting tagged by that recon dot, that is ridiculously good. Now that is game presence, quick thinking at its finest. Hunter's Fury, that's gonna keep Pasha Sahil safe for now. He was flashed a little bit. Oh, but King, how? 20 HP on this man. And he still fires those shots. The shot darts don't connect as accurately as he thought it would, but this cloudburst pushing through it is gonna be a mistake. And there's a Phantom to help him out over here. They thought that they could get this one, but it went out of bounds. No! Shooter had the scare of his life. But Team Valor, they're definitely making a comeback over here. A comeback of their careers, to be honest, given the way the last match went. I would not have expected an 8-4 scoreline over here. And this might as well just be a 9-3 if everything goes well for Team Valor.
Yeah, that was a really comical moment and a half. You're gonna watch another replay one more time. This was just a perfect situation. Okay, Jan, he gets a kill. They get 2 more, and then there is Shooter. Okay, who's the better Jan? Who can whiff even better? No, let me kill him with my knife. I couldn't kill him with my other knife. Let me pull out my actual one that I used for running around instead. Just wasn't gonna happen. The kunai not's gonna connect there. In that sense, 8-3 for the side of Team Valor. This is the whole map of Team Exploit, by the way. We're expecting this to be a landslide victory from Team Exploit, but it feels like Team Valor, they read into the strategies of Team Exploit. They don't know exactly what to expect and exactly how to take them down here. This is the Team Valor that we know and love, but Darky? Darky? Darky?
Bullet could have waited a little bit. Just one more
Maybe
second longer, he would have been not stunned, and then he could have used that height to his advantage. But Team Exploit already have taken control of the site right now. What's gonna happen? Jane's gonna have to hit some really nice shots if he wants to make this one work, if he wants to liberate it. Alder also doesn't spot anyone. Shooter's seen, but nobody else. They know 2 people are towards the U-Hauls. Naturally, now they find out the position of HSB. Oh, but Hunter and Buster, they make this one work. 2v2 now. Shock darts to go and make Soulmate a little low on health, but the showstopper being committed this time will get a kill. No, it does not get a kill instead. Hunter, he's tagging the...
Oh, this is perfect.
Oh my god. He's tanking it. He wants to make this one work, but Soulmate already behind him, and the timing just does not work out for Team Valor.
That was just perfect.
Switching sides.
That is beyond perfection, the way that they were able to pull that one off. Soulmate going in for a massive wraparound flank from the side of Lambs. Beautifully done from his side. He understood that, hey, we have 100 Fury. I do not need to fight this. Even if they start running around and start pushing my Sova, I can still go around from Lamps. I can take it slow. I can take it steady. I can play it smart, going for the wraparound, and then get the kill on the guy who's not sticking the spike. So in this situation, team dynamic from Exploit, they are slowly but surely learning, but the thing is they're adapting a little bit too late. Valor, they're pulling off every single strat page that they have in their strat book, and they're blazing through it. But the problem is, Scripps, now that you have blazed through a lot of your strategies, what do you have left to try and show up the side of Team Exploit? Because once they understand the strategy, they know how to counter it in like literally one round.
Yeah, let's just hope they can stay longer than that in the game.
Oh,
not when that's happening. You can't push a one-way smoke, especially not a Viper one-way. You're gonna be vulnerable, and just a couple of bullets should be enough to deal with you. But Sahil pulls Darky out into the open and returns the favor. But now we have JN doing what Shooter was doing in the first half.
Yeah, but when you try to pull this off against the Master, it's just not gonna work. The Master is
It's the exact carbon copy of the pistol round. Like, what happened in the first pistol round? We had Team Exploit, they moved all the way in towards the defender spawn, towards those areas. They lost while they were trying to fall back, and Team Valor was able to pick up the win. And now Team Valor do the exact same thing, they lose in the exact same way, and this is just a mirror being held up in front of them.
They're just trading blows for blow now. 8-5 on the scorecards. Strategies are up on the high now. You didn't know what to expect anymore either.
Scanning ahead.
Team Valor forced onto an eco. It's fine. But for the side of Team Exploit, what are they planning now? Because they need to make sure they keep all 5 of their guns safe. Because the way I understand a lot of the things here, Team Exploit, they are a team that like to take a little bit more of a risk in the way they play. So them opting to go in for a full-on bonus, I personally do believe they're not going to invest in any guns. They're going to buy sheriffs in the following rounds to go in. So, you know, they're going to not even buy sheriffs in the following rounds if they lose out on 3 of their players. They're just going to go in for a full buy regardless. That's kind of how I see them to play here. But at the same time, after the side of Team Valor pulled off a thrifty round, I personally do believe that this could just be another thrifty if and only if they play it slow, play it steady, and get that first initial kill. That first initial kill is just so crucial here, but I don't think they're going to be able to get it. But once again, they're going in for another push. But Darky, how? Why? What?
Sahil was trying to sell a fake over here. At least he keeps 3 of the defenders anchored on the B side, which buys more space for his team to move into a day, but they haven't been able to deal with that. Hunter with the timing, it's perfect. His teammate distracts them towards the cubby area, and then Hunter is able to pick up all the kills, but now it's just Bullet left, and he can't fall back to safety. Everyone's pushing him at the same time. Well, at least they were able to get the spike down, so that's something that they get out of the eco.
Yes, it just worked out in their favor. You can see the record bolt going into the sky as well. In a very cinematic fashion, we're going to be seeing the spike get diffused as well here, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the ball rolls, and that's how it all goes as well. King, he's having a little bit of fun. He's going to be really excited as well. 8-6 on the scorecards. Once again, they're back into the game here. And do you know what's back in the hands of Shooter as well here, Crips?
Is it an operator? Yes, it is. But it's weird. I mean, the rest of his team is on Spectres. He's on Operator, like not even a Phantom or a Vandal. You don't go one step up. He skips the step and he takes it directly to an Operator.
Hey, he's just that confident.
Yeah, he sure is. I just hope it doesn't come and bite him in the butt later.
Well, it's Shooter that we're talking about. I think that if anyone can pull off a third round Operator, it has to be him. And in that sense, everyone from Team Exploit, they're pushed up really far. Shooter? Hello? I think he fell asleep right there for a second.
Bullet dodged a big bullet there. A bullet that could have killed him in one shot.
Right there.
But now that they know there's an operator available, what do Team Valor do with that information? They try to move towards the A side, assuming that the op would be on B. But there's HSB waiting for them over here. The stun is perfect. There needs to be a capitalization on the back of it, but hey, at least it just helped them fall back. Oh, Bosch is already out from bathroom. Shooter did not expect this. Now that's the operator down. Soulmate still good near the pocket position, but it's just King left now. He's able to get to U-Haul. He does make quite a lot of noise while doing that, and Buster taps him out of existence. That's great. They can even recover the op. But they don't take it considering they're on the attacking side, so it's fine. Hey, but at least they were able to deal with this one, right? That was a dangerous round. The operator in the hands of Shooter could have caused way too many problems, but now he's been forced to go down to a Marshal. Unfortunately, his teammates had only a Spectre in the previous round, so they can still afford Phantoms and Vandals. So both the teams now looking kind of even Stevens in terms of weaponry.
Yeah, that's the danger of running an operator like on a third round. Third round of any half that is. It's just problematic in general. You're not going to be able to get a lot of value out of it if they don't push into your specific sideline, and the fact that they didn't, Shooter just had no way of bringing this one back. That sense, things are good. not looking as bad as I would have expected, but now HSB, he's going in for a couple of his own flashes, bullets just running around, he's trying to survive! And he nearly got that kill on his soulmate, but King is going to be the one to save him out at the bare minimum here. This is still a 3 versus 5 situation, no information being given away. The ultimate has also been popped on towards that B-side soulmate, he's expecting it. He's playing with fire once again. Last time it was 2 HP, this time it's 5 HP. He just wants it, dude. He's not gonna give up anything here.
But look at the position he has. He's inside hookah, above it. And he's holding this angle.
If they pre-fire this.
I don't even know if this is an angle that anyone pre-fires. This is actually a terrible angle if you consider it under normal circumstances, but maybe with the Viper's Pit, nobody will check it. Hey, but still, even though Team Exploit have the higher numbers, they don't have the better HP. Well, now they start to fall, and at this point, I think they have a much decisive advantage. 3 versus 4. One of the healthier players down, but the Jet and Viper still alive. And in this Viper's Pit, it doesn't matter what HP you have. Everyone's gonna be 1 HP at some point or the other. Time, though, that could be the real deciding factor over here. If they can somehow stop them from going in and planting, then maybe they can win. But it does go down eventually. Hunters, he will be able to kill Darky, one of the healthier players who was coming through. His soulmate just randomly dies through a spray in the smoke. HSB has to make his way through. He only has the fault line, nothing else. And the Nebula is about to fade. No! But Hunter's gun gets visible! And he finds one. Pasha Sahil stunned. He needs to play on the back of Buster right now. Nobody ready to reveal themselves. They're just waiting for him to drop down. Buster now peeks. And the timing is perfect because HSB is looking towards long.
I kind of expected it as soon as I saw that first pit not cover the entire side. Yeah, I understand Soulmate, he just didn't want to play it risky when he had that 5 HP, but playing inside of Fuka, it's understandable, but with so much noise being made inside of the site, you need to expect that there has to be 3 members there. 1 member got caught out, there's another one already there, and understanding the ideologies and playstyles of Team Valor, they don't really split themselves up that much. There's no dedicated lurker anymore now, is there? No one really lurks for their side. So in that sense, Team Exploit, they just dropped the ball really heavily here, and moving on down from this, how are they going to pull themselves back up once again? They don't even have buys to work with in that last round. 11 and 6 just beyond the card here. And I don't know if they're going to be able to bring this one back here.
Darky destroying the boombot for the breach is great. HSB's position now won't be known. But that doesn't mean they won't check it. I don't know what Team Valor are trying over here. It's 1 minute into the round, an entire minute, and they don't have any map control. They're not even holding defaults. They're just holding Hookah and B-Link, hoping for a push from Team Exploit. But they won't find anything.
Oh,
now, setting up the bait,
for you.
but Soulmate, he still gets checked. And Buster is driving by everybody.
Oh, he's mad, man. He's turned into the Daya that we know and love. He's just busting down the doors of every single person that he can find. And Pasha. Yeah, sure. I think the pep talk really helped him out. Buster gets another kill for himself, but now it's all up to Shooter. Shooter versus the entire world. I know this guy's really good, but to go up against players like this, especially with just a Spectre, that's just not gonna happen. 11 and 6 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. Another equal round just pretty much getting done and dusted without any form of advantages being taken by the side of Team Exploit as well. It's their do or die. If they win here, it's gonna be good for them. If they don't, just prepare yourself for the 3rd game.
This is the classic Gauntlet curse. Every time one team wins someone else's map, they lose their own map pick. It's just happened so many times.
Oh, this is the TC curse, honestly. It only happens at these.
Oh, what can I say? If you do believe in witchcraft, well then we are your friends.
Hey, this is why you need to make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell, because all the best storylines happen here on the Esports Club, ladies and gentlemen. You just don't want to miss it. And another storyline being made is the Hunter's Fury and Soulmate's liking of standing in it. Okay.
JN, very risky. Darky doesn't get checked. The boombot doesn't see him. Darky gets a free kill and another one. Dinks through. And he almost gets them both, but both of them now very low on HP should make the job of Shooter and his teammate HSB a lot more easier. They're heading towards the B site now where HSB is already prepared and he's got the Rolling Thunder too.
Rolling Thunder is gonna be coming in close. Rolling Thunder is the only thing that's gonna bring them back here.
Player
HSB
standing.
Neither gets caught out, and Shooter's the last person remaining, and Shooter just is not gonna miss that shot. He needed to hit that one, and he hit it really beautifully as well, right on the jiggle. And Pasha, he's gonna be reeling back from that shot just a tiny little bit, but it's gonna be fine. Don't really worry about it here. 11-7. Last couple of rounds, the last chance for Team Exploit to possibly take it towards your set here.
This is a very
And
close round. They do say
They
the
need to
operator,
ride
but-
on the back of Shooter.
Exactly. They need to ride on his back. I mean, everyone else not really lacking, not really having too much money. I mean, they do have Phantoms and Vandals, but with light shields. Soulmate is probably the only one who has a full buy. And JN just doesn't
JN.
care. He pushes through all that utility, hustling
Oh.
through it, but the updraft gives away his position, and now he can get shot. Oh, the recon dot saves him. Soulmate had to fall back, otherwise he would have been shot through those smokes. HP advantage not going in the favor of Team Exploit. At least Valor have a stage, but Darky trades back and forth. More to follow as they're
Oh,
now
no.
on the ace side. They're ready to go
inside.
for the blunt. Oh my god, this has just gone from bad to worse. Team Exploit have no chance to get back into post-plant position. They just can't hide.
This is not how it goes, man. This is not how it goes. This is not how it ends. They're gonna go in for a save here. They need to. They don't have any buys for the last round. They need to save these last two guns as they possibly can. Could possibly eke out a couple of weapons because Darky has 1800 credits, but that's just one more gun. Two more of their players, they have nothing to work with.
Right there.
It's a really bad story for the side of Team Exploit. Are they going to be able to do it? Are they actually going to be the ones to bring back something here? I don't think that's going to happen. Especially if this gun gets lost. King didn't need to hold it. He just didn't need to.
Match point.
And they died after the timer ran out, which means no money.
It's just getting from bad to worse here, Chris.
Oh,
Now, Shooter, he's being forced out to a Bucky. Well done. That's gonna be fun. What do you do here, Grips? Like, there's nothing. It feels like Team Exploit, they just got caught between a rock and a hard place, and Team Valor, they've been studying them for weeks, months even. Every single strategy that is being pulled off by Team Exploit, every single adaptation gets instantly adapted to from the side of Team Valor instead. The way that they're able to play the map of Bind, the way that they're just taking down Team Exploit down a couple of pegs because of the small mistakes and over-aggressive plays that they're making. That's what's causing them to break apart here. And another thing that I don't really get is that how is the side of Team Exploit planning to use that breach? It feels like the breach is there much more as a diversion tactic instead of being an execution tool.
I know, right? They haven't really used the breach in the best way possible yet. I haven't seen too many flash and dashes. I haven't seen the fault line plus aftershock combos. And see, Shooter goes in all by himself, nobody to back him up. King, though, might just use Shooter's death as bait, but he's gonna peek 3 people at once and he gets spammed through the woodworks. That's it, that's the end. And the breach really hasn't been able to do much. HSP has had this ultimate for like 3 rounds now, and he hasn't used it at all.
It's just about throwing the ultimate from time to time. Just throw it out there, cycle through it, you'll get it back. You're an incredible player, man. You don't need to wait for the best possible opportunity to use that ultimate from time to time. And when you're waiting for the best possible opportunity to get a 4-man or even a 3-man hold, it's not gonna work. Yeah, maybe in this round he can get something out of it, but they are not gonna go here. They know for a fact that HSP, he has his ultimate. He is gonna be waiting
30
outside of the B
seconds
side. They're not even gonna be executing there, and poor old Soulmate. He's gonna need to be the one who tries to hold down the fort against 3 angry members pushing from showers.
This could be
What?
it. Just be waiting for the timing. But the ult only hits
look at
one.
this
That's
fade,
not
look
where
at
the
this
spike is
fade.
going. The spike is going towards the ace side. Soulmate good for 1. That's a stylish frag. But the spike goes down. And Team
maybe.
Exploit have no chance of making this one work. JN gets away with murder. And it's just HSB left. He has 2 flashes and an aftershock. But in a 1v2, he's going to have to make those count. And especially up against the Showstopper and the Blade Storm. Yeah, I don't think this is happening.
Yeah, this is not gonna happen. It's literally gonna take a miracle. Yeah, he has 2 flashes. He has a lot of utility to work with. How much is that utility gonna help you, my man? Yeah, he throws out 1. Showstopper comes out. He's not gonna stick it. Time's running out. He needs to stick it now. Now there's a peak. Now there's just Showstopper. It's already done. HSB is only 10 HP. Insult to injury. It's gonna be Buster coming in with a classic as well to shut it all down.
Was that supposed to be a fight?
Well,
That was impressive.
in a way, Team Valor,
Last player standing.
kudos to you, my man. You guys deserve it. There's nothing to say about this. You outplayed the side of Team Exploit really beautifully. Your positioning was good, and right at the very end, it was an incredible fake as well. Hunter, he sacrificed himself for the cause. And just look at it. Exploit, they thought that the entire squad was on B. They invested in Astral Divide and also Rolling Thunder. That's how good the fake was from Team Valor.
Well, at least they are finally starting to make something work. In Icebox, they were only just going for vanilla A and B executes. This time in Bind, they went for a lot more than that. They held their defaults, very passive defaults at 2, sometimes holding in Link. And then after they sell everything, after they bait out every piece of utility from Team Exploit, Team Valor finally go in, and down the path of least resistance, they're able to find quite a lot of success when they were on the attacking side. Let's take a look at the highlights, because there are some very, very crucial moments over here that were basically game-changing.
Yeah, when you start from the very beginning, though, I love the starting from Team Exploit. They had good positions. They knew what to do. Like, the strategy was there. Like, I would personally say that the strategy was beautiful. But what happened to the trading and everything that we saw on map number 1? The aim game was not really on point. Team Valor, they woke it themselves up. Their aim was really good. The trades were really strong as well. Yeah, that's the Team Valor that we know and love. But Team Exploit, what happened to you guys? It feels like you slowed down quite a lot. Yeah, it was Shooter getting the normal shots that he always hits. He got an ace for himself with a operator as well to try and bring everything back for their side. But you can't rely on those miracles. Those are just one-off performances from one of your star fraggers. But what happened to the rest of the squad? They could have done so much more on Team Exploit. It felt like as a unit, they just broke apart.
Yeah, this time it was Team Valor who was doing the better job over here by trying to bait out the utility from Team Exploit. Like, you can see that Exploit tried to go for some aggressive pushes, not just in
the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix. From the legends of memory and storage. Crucial brings you the ultimate performance in gaming. Legendary products. Precision engineered. For speed and stability. Crucial Ballistix.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial, and our apparel partners are none other than 6x6. We are back, once again, jumping straight into the fray after an intense comeback from the side of Team Valor. We didn't expect any of that to happen, but Team Valor, they pulled off something incredible. They were able to bring it all back. They were able to switch up the pace of the matchup and get a really strong win on the home ground of Team Exploit. And it feels as though TEC is the place where all this happens. Honestly speaking, Trips, every single time I cast a game, it's always the team winning out on the opposition's best map and then just systematically losing out on their own really good map. Like,
What I like
why?
to, I honestly I can't answer why, but what I love the fact about Team Valor is that they can mentally reset after a crushing defeat like that. They lost 13-2 on their own home map, but then they were able to win their opponent's map in a pretty convincing manner. 13-7 is still a decent scoreline. That too after taking the 13-2 defeat. Now that's incredible. We are heading into Ascent, and this honestly can be anyone's map pick. This is neutral ground for both the teams.
And this is where things could get a little bit dicey as well, because I think you can see what I can see, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That
two
breach
initiatives.
is
I hope they're able to utilize the breach better this time around. I don't think that they were able to use the flashes of HSB, and they didn't pay off too much. They didn't extract enough value out of it in Bind. I hope they can do it in Ascent. Of course, if they go for a shock and awe tactic, if they go for those burst executes like Team Exploit usually does with their explosive firepower and their breakneck speeds, then I think Team Exploit should be able to make this one work. But Buster is back on Reyna, baby. And this is what I've been waiting for.
Buster on Reyna is just so good. He's such a self-sufficient fragger as well that he
Choose
can
your
make things
agent.
work. But in a way, like, you know that I'm a real fan of Buster on I'm like when Buster plays a Phoenix, that's when I'm mostly at all, because the way he's able to make those Phoenixes work, those flashes are very beautiful. He has very methodical sense of aiming as well. He doesn't really have a lot of unnecessary movements in the way that he aims, and that's why I love Buster as a player. He's a very methodical player in general, and he should be able to make that Reyna work, yes. But the thing is, he needs to get kills. That's so crucial. Like with Reyna, if you don't get kills, you're just not going to be having any impact throughout the entire game. Yeah, you throw out a Lear, you get your team into the site once, but that's it. What more can you do here? You need to find kills. And I'm really hoping that Buster is going to be able to show the performance that he showed in match number 2, because in game number 2, man, this guy was just like popping everyone's head clean off their shoulders.
Yeah, and I hope he can do it again. He's going to need some really crispy shots if he wants to win this game. And Exploit also are looking pretty strong. Now that we're heading into Ascent, I think Team Exploit will pull out all the stops, and they're going to go for those shock and awe tactics that they were not able to do in Bind. They tried to integrate their tactics a little too much, but let's be honest, Team Exploit and Team Valor, both of these are at their best when they play recklessly, when they play mercilessly.
This is where the fun begins, and this is where the fun could all end as well here, ladies and gentlemen. We don't really know what to expect here, but the shots, GM! Well, that's where it all breaks apart, but what? What?
Spike down.
You,
Mid.
what, Hunter? A double chunk on Colaro, but HSB, he's alive. He's gonna go for one kill, but he's not gonna go for a second. Hunter's gonna be shutting down one. But Soulmate's gonna be able to shut down two. What just happened on this A side here, Grips?
The spikes dropped inside Bullet's territory, and if he can reposition towards tree, that will be great. They did spot him towards mid first. They knew he wasn't present on the side. But now Bullet's worried because the A side's leaked and he's worried that someone might come in from heaven and try to kill him. He can reposition all the way down. He can give up the spike, let them have it. And then maybe go for some better tactics, maybe go somewhere else. If he can get into heaven right now, that will be great. But that can be predicted by the players of Team Exploit. And with 30 seconds left, they have more than enough options. They can still go towards A. But if things go wrong, if they spot out Bullets with heaven, they can head towards B as well.
Oh no, Bullet made the wrong call. This is gonna hurt them.
Recalling
Just
my
save
boss.
heaven. He had a chance of trying to kill at the bare minimum one player. You have to remember that the Killjoy is super low on HP. Soulmate, he just dies super quickly here. Shots are gonna be clean and the peak is gonna be strong as well. Bullet, he has nothing to really worry about. 4 bullets. Opting to go in for that reload. He's holding it slow. He's holding it steady. Should be able to spot out one of the players at the bare minimum. Spots out one. He knows exactly where both of them are. Goes in for the jump.
Nice.
Classic. He's gonna go shut down one player. But ouch! That classic is not gonna be as accurate as a ghost though. King's gonna be the one to take it all out. And hey, nice shots in the chat. That was a really clean classic right to the forehead.
Stylish too. What a brawl this whole round. Everyone's just fighting. They enter the A site. Things would have been very easy for Team Exploit if that double shock dart kill did not happen and the spike was not dropped. It could have been a lot cleaner. But at least they have a good start. Now with the pistol, they'll have the Spectres and everything to work with. HSP even goes ahead and picks up a Phantom for extra security.
It just goes in for it, man. Oh my god! A little bit dicey from the side of Buster, getting a little bit too over ambitious in the way he wanted to fight that angle. But Pasha, he's not been cleared up. Pasha's in such a good spot. If he just holds it down here, it's gonna be good for him. They're gonna be able to bait the recon hold as well. And Pasha, he's just chilling, he's just vibing. A little bit of a bait from his teammate, but if he's able to get a kill, it's gonna be fine. But instead, it's gonna get ended up as a bait instead. Pasha's not gonna be able to kill anyone, but at the bare minimum, a good chunk of damage has been dealt. And Bullet, now it's time to redeem yourself, my man. Come on, show us what this classic can do. They're low HP. Bullet's gonna be good for one kill towards the face of Shooter.
Got it blocking vision.
And with that, Darky's at really low HP as well here. Grips, can he pull out the impossible? Are we gonna see a tail from the Vanguards? Maybe bringing it back. Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
No fallback available. Gravity will activate at the right time. Darky and HSB were playing a little bit of a bait and switch setup. I thought Darky would be the one to reveal himself first, but HSB's position was given away before that. And then Doki realized he can't just dry peek all by himself. Gravity well secures him the round. It was still expensive though. 3 kills from the eco round. I think that's pretty good.
It can work out. But they can also do just a little bit more better as well. The way they take a little bit fast. Systematically, I guess they're in a better spot, but at the same time, now that Hunter has that Odin, yeah, the Odin supremacy is just gonna start going. Oh, bullet.
Well, at least they have the first opening pick. More footsteps towards the B side. And Team Valor are actually moving away from A. Pasha Sahil just about spots them before he fades back. But it's a bit too late. Team Exploit missed their chance. They had a great fake. If they capitalized on the timing, they could have had the A side, but now almost everyone from Team Valor is here, and planting the spike is possible, but defending it, it can be a little difficult.
It's all up to King. If King does not get a couple of kills here, it's just not going to be working out in their favor. He needs to find one. He spots out the head of Buster. He's not going in for that shot. King, just 1 kill. That's all that you need. Attackers have killed the ultimate has been played, but they're all going to dive down together. They're not even going to stop here. He's trying to go for 1 kill, but that's all that he's going to get. This is what I expected here. This was just so dangerous. It was King's game. King just giving up on that fight is going to cost him his own life as well. Pasha's going to be the one to send him back down to his grave. 3 kills, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Team Valor. And with that, the 1-2 scoreline and the comeback that Team Valor needed. A really strong start for the side of Team Exploit, but in a way, post-round position just wasn't good.
But that was just a bonus round. This is going to be the real acid test for Team Valor. They were able to win the 3rd round, but if they fail over here, they will be back in the economic dumpster once again. And at that point, Team Exploit can take up a massive lead. I just hope that they are able to stop the momentum of this Pakistani team before they snowball out of control.
Yeah, and it feels like Team Exploit as a squad, they're a team based on momentum and shooter.
Out of charges.
Can we talk about that, Clips, or do we just ignore it?
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, so I'm going to ignore it. Buster was not supposed to get that shot. Did not even have a line of sight, and even his crosshair was not positioned properly. I think it was the recall of the Phantom that actually helped him got the kill subconsciously.
Yes, it can work. It does happen from time to time, but so in a corner, especially when you know for a fact that the Nebulas are already there. Yeah, it could have been a little bit better, but we're just not going to talk about it. Moving on, ladies and gentlemen. 1 and 2 on the scorecards. It is a 4 versus 5 situation. This is a buy round, mind you. And in this buy round, they didn't have the strongest of starts. Shooter getting taken out, it's going to hurt them. They don't have the flash and dash anymore. They're purely relying on that first initial pickup. Jade's going to be good for 1 kill. Soulmate's going to be the one getting that reverse kill, but still it's a 3 versus 4. They need 1 more kill to try and make things even Stevens make this A-side pushable, but the positions are too good, man. There's no way they survive this. But Buster with the whip, that's going to hurt them quite a lot. Bullets right around the corner. He's going to bring down the wall as well. With that, positionally, they should be winning everything here, but Hunter?
Yeah, the timing not working out for him. Once again, all of Team Valor falls prey to fading away at the wrong time. Hunter looking to his generator, well, someone else beats him from the button. And then you have towards button, but then someone peeks him from generator. So it's the little switcheroo that Team Valor Team Exploit pull off over here. And that's what I was worried about. Now Team Valor, they have nothing to work with. It's back to the drawing board. But they're still forcing into this. Spectres, Phantom, Light Shields, whatever they can muster, they want to stop the momentum of Team Exploit right here. And about that too, that is, in my opinion, the correct decision. If they can somehow win this round, then Team Exploit will be the ones who can't snowball. They have enough momentum, but can they make it work? Oh my god, this is going to be disastrous.
That's a massive one right there. Not going to be able to get kill out of it, though. Instead, it's going to be Soulmate being the one to shut down Bullet almost immediately. Poor old Hunter, yo, dog. You're an absolutely beautiful dog. Oh my god. No way. Darky and King's going to be the one to shut down Hunter and JN in the process. Oh my god, JN, he got a little bit too over and too vicious there, but holy hell, that was a little bit too close for comfort. Hunter, the absolute beautiful solo player. You just pulled off something insane.
No way he should have been able to get even a single kill, but he walks away with a double. Much more value excited out of his position, so he's done his job. Now it's time for Pasha Sahil and Buster to go to work. No, they won't even be allowed to enter the office. They just can send straight home.
Yeah.
The force fails. Team Valor, now they're crumbling. And with them on an eco round once again, Team Exploit not just have a chance to pull off a 5-1, but maybe even a 6-1.
Yeah, with Shooter especially going in for a save, I personally do believe he could have gone in for the save if he really wanted to, because hey, he has that Blaze Storm, he can play for that Blaze Storm and just play something a little bit more different, possibly pull out an operator as well, because we have seen how strong his attacking sided operator actually is, and he can pull off a lot of the miracles with that, but he wants to play it safe, he wants to play it systematically, he does want to build up his own economy, but not in that play. He wants to save that Blaze Storm for when he uses the operator, possibly going for a couple of aggressive pushes. Poor old Bullet, he's going to get caught out by one of them. And now it's a full-scale rush. It's just going to be going in for pushes left and right. Shooter's the first initial one to possibly take Kodak. Shooter's going to be good for 1 kill. And Donkey's going to be the one to shut down Hunter and Sen. And now JN, he's the one, he's the man, he's the bit. He's not the legend here, sadly.
Yeah, he was going for a
Plant.
very risky one-and-done kind of frag in the first place, but that's all the wrong position at the wrong time, and Buster is in here. Nobody else can get the position where he is holding.
Yeah, it's just it's not really gonna happen. 2-5 now, just the ball in their court. They don't really have anything to worry about. They can just play it slow, play it steady, and just keep it rolling onto their side. They now have the operator once again in their hands. Jian, him with an operator, it's a really dangerous tool, especially when he's holding down a specific cycle. But the thing is, when it comes to the terms of their economy, yes, they won out on this round, but if they lose out here, they're going to get forced on 24 profits. They need to win here decisively as well, because their eco, even for forward buys, is not looking good. They do not have a win streak bonus in their favor either. They need to win one more, just one more round to bring everything back. And JN on this operator, he's being aggressive. This could just work, or this could end horribly. JN, he's playing with fire. Soulmate misses the shot, but that was too close for him.
Oh, well, Shooter also missed the shot, so both of them missing their opportunities. Still, a 5v5. Nothing to worry about for the side of Team Exploit. They can always regroup and hit some other side later on in the round without any difficulties. The only problem is both these teams have committed way too much utility, so I think the round is going to come down to just aim duels and trading now.
I'm gonna go with the just gonna wait.
You want to fight it?
All systematic plays. And now HSV, he's gonna be the one to bring it all back, but Pasha! He's good, he's chilling! He just get a kill! Pasha gets the first initial one, Pasha should be able to get one more, Pasha, come on, get your third! But Shooter's instead gonna be the one to shut down Hunter, and now...
No!
I thought Shooter's was gonna get it, man! Pasha, what is your reaction speed, my
30
boy?
seconds left.
Less than a millisecond, that's how fast he is. I'm actually surprised the Rolling Thunder didn't hit him. Just narrowly started a little ahead of where Pasha Sahil was holding, and that's the mistake the Team Exploit did not account for.
Got to target pulling them
Yeah, I think it's already done and dusted. You can just call it, it's already done. Yep. 3-5 on the scorecards here. Team Valor, their second win is just beautiful to watch as well. The way that they just switched up all of their strategies. JN's hitting every single shot. Hunter's getting so much value out of utility. Pasha also playing as Astra really beautifully as well. That's the thing. Pasha, whenever he's playing as Astra to the best of his own abilities, then he is an absolute force to be reckoned with. He does not miss shots, and after he reaches a point where he doesn't even need to think about where to place his utilities or when to pop his utility, I feel as though Pasha could just be one of the best Astra players our region has ever seen.
Get out of my way.
Just because of his raw mechanical potential.
Yeah, that's just Pasha being a good player overall. Whatever character he picks up, that's a completely different story. But yep, I expected Pasha to be one of those jet mains, but he's pretty good on the Astra too. Hunter misses the opportunity, but no problem. Uh-oh. Buster going down near B. Now, this can make the defense a little weaker. How?
Okay.
What? King through the walls without a line of sight. Hunter's gonna be devastated with that frag. No way he expected to be shot in the face like that. Oh my god, Pasha, stop! He's blowing everyone else's head off. How do you recover from something like that? Buster going down on B, that was a blow. And then Hunter's frag without even a line of sight. That should have crippled Team Valor. But Pasha Sahil, you're right, Aggressive, you're right. He's not just one of the best Astra players in the country, but he is one of the best overall players, period.
Placing sentry.
Holy hell, that. Like, you know, when you get a stalk, you get a fright, you put your hand on your chest and just start rubbing near your heart because holy hell,
Yeah.
that scared me to the point of no return. Pasha, you gotta stop, man. Those are the shots that you really want to see, but those are the shots that you don't want to see as well because you gotta reel back to your chair and you gotta be like,
Make up your
Oh,
mind,
God.
Ignacio. Make up your mind.
Oh,
I, for one,
I
want to see that
can't.
again and again.
I can't make up my mind, dude, because that scares me. This is one of the main reasons why I do not want to play Valorant Rack sometimes, because this is how I die. And if Pasha's on the enemy team, I'm really scared, dude. I do not want to face at all.
I mean, when you die like that, what can you even do? TEAMXO did nothing wrong. Pasha Sahil literally dry-peeked them, and he flicked both of their heads. It's not even like they lined up for him. No, that was a ridiculous amount of mechanical skill involved in Pasha's skills. Jesus.
That spray transfer is just so clean and sexy that you have to give it to this man. He needs to take a bow right there and now. 4 and 5.
If I had a hat, I would tip it in the favor of Pasha Sahil right now.
Hey, if they had a Cypher on their team, I would actually make a tip at you. But sadly, yeah.
Still make the jokes aggressive. Come on.
Come on, if there was a Cypher, come on. That would have been a perfect.
I mean, if Pasha Sahil can pull off stuff like this, and I'm sure we can pull off some unthinkable jokes. Hunter setting up bait. They won't check Buster's angle.
Okay.
And he gets away with murder.
It's questionable though that Shooter's just pushing angles like this all by his lonesome.
Yeah, that too.
They're kind of breaking apart. What's the plan here? What are they trying to do? What are they trying to employ? Because they're just walking into the awaiting arms of all the defenders here. Feels like they want to take map control,
Right
but
there.
map control is non-existent as well.
Spike down.
You thought you were safe because there's a nebula, but then JN's on top.
One enemy remaining.
And now he's on the bottom. And now you're in the grave.
On my way. On my way. Out of charges.
It feels like another domination from Team Valor. What just happened? It's a complete 180 from what we saw in map number 1. It felt like Valor had no
Exactly.
clue what they were doing. That was their home map, by the way. Or was it just a ruse? It felt like they just wanted to put map number 1 up as a ruse, being like, hey, you guys can win, it's fine. Icebox is one of our worst maps, so we're gonna pick it right off the get-go so we can get a really good scoreline against us, and possibly, you know, we can test out a couple of our new strategies as well, see if it works. Map number 2 rolled around, and they were just like insane. And now there's a shotgun lineup. Come on, Hunter, you gotta style on me like that? You gotta style on me like that?
I thought he missed that shot that, but no. That was a really cool angle. I haven't seen that one. Although I'm not a Zoe, so I don't know about all the lineups, but that
the
was
thing is,
really
dude,
nice.
That lineup is just for style. You can pull up a lot
Yeah.
of easier lineups. That's just pure
Yeah.
style points.
That's the opposite of style. That's just soulmate dying right there. He was hoping to sell the fake over here by making his presence known. But when Bullet's holding an angle like that, what can King even do? He never even checked. JN popping off. Sure, this is an eco round of TEAMXO, so they never expected to do much, but at least get one kill, at least got some economic damage. Even if you pull that off, Team Valor have enough money for the entire half, so even economic damage is not gonna cause anything. It's not even gonna cause a dent in their armor.
Yeah, that's a lot of buy rounds for them already won out here. They are winning out on a lot of their rounds flawlessly. This is where the real pain is about to start. Swings are going to be taken. Shots are going to be found as well. Pasha, he's right around the corner. Maybe just one. Ooh, Darky. That was a nice flick and a half right there. 6 and 5 on the scorecards though, but Trips. I want to highlight the fact that this was a 1 and 5. The last we saw, it was a 0 and 5, sorry. And now it's a 6 and 5. Last round of the half as well. It's either go big or go home now. TEAMXO, you need to take this because your defensive side against a team of Team Valor's caliber, especially when you consider the history on this map, I don't know, man. It could end really badly.
Yeah, but with Valor on 3 ultimates, I doubt that's gonna happen. Agreed, 2 of those ultimates are just individual ultimates. The Reyna Empress, the Bladestorm of JN. If we'll only get them a couple of kills at best, but
Poor Salome.
Pasha Sahil has a Cosmic Divide, so maybe that can be useful in a retake. but then they would never want the Team Exploit to plant the spike in the first place. Team Exploit are using way too much utility, but they're not getting anything on the back of it. That's a little bit of a concern.
Yeah, that's the thing. Utility is forcing them off of multiple different corners. The pushes are already going to be happening. Bullet's going to be good for one kill. Bullet should be good for a second.
Wow.
Bullet's not going to be good for a third. Instead, it's going to be Darky and HSB with their own swings being able to shut down a couple of players for themselves. Buster going in for that break wall with the Empress in hand. The other ultimates have also been popped, and does not get that kill. Buster's going to be the one to shut down the player instead, but it's going to be completely fine. It's going to be all fine. And dandy shots are going to be taken. Darky's not going to be able to get that kill. HSB with the Rolling Thunder is going to be good for one, but he's going to be good for anything more than that. Real question. I don't think that's going to happen, but Hunter, he went in for the swing. JN's making so much noise. This is so dangerous as well. But HSB, he's playing it so smart. He's going under heaven. He's playing it sneakily. He's playing it slow. He's playing it steady. JN doesn't know where to look. Does he look left? Does he look right? Making so much noise here. Throws on fake. JN, you don't do this to him like that. JN! Swing that.
HSB started this round with no ultimate, but then he got that double kill. Rolling Thunder available. He blew up in the faces of Team Valor over there. And what's best is that he capitalized on the back of it too. This is a mistake that Team Exploit were making in the map of Bind. They did not use the Rolling Thunder or the flashes of the Breach very effectively, but this time he makes sure that every time he presses one of the keys on his keyboard, every time he pulls off those bionic arms, there will be a kill on the back of it.
That's the most crucial part as well. You cannot save your abilities for way too long for the best possible situation, ladies and gentlemen. That's the thing, just throw out your utility. Sometimes it's just better to throw out your utility, just hit absolutely nothing than just die with all of your utility in your hand. And HSB in this situation, he did that beautifully. Understanding the situation, understanding what he needed to do. He just invested that Rolling Thunder to get the bare minimum of one kill, isolate the 1v1 engagement against one of the players, and stop any sort of a recurring push or any possible trade to come on down through as well. Beautifully done from HSB to isolate both of those 1v1s. And now, they took his team down to that 6-6 scoreline. They now have a chance. They have a really good fighting chance of bringing everything back here. Still, 8-6 could be on the cards almost immediately. Shooter does get caught out, going in for a couple of pop shots. Buster and Shooter whipping it out, but still it's going to be Shooter getting a couple of more bullets from Kate's side as well. And now, Team Exploit, they need to go in for a retake, but this garden angle, yeah, this is not a favorable retake start, man.
Definitely not. A great crossfire established between the player just outside of Generator and JN. Buster can peek out, but he's low. Oh, the pre-fire, JN, that's it. The crossfire's done for. Even Buster's pretty low on health, but he still gets a couple of kills. Now that's great. He dismisses right in the face of his enemies, and that's not supposed to happen. Team Exploit make the pistol round work. Even though Team Valor had a great defense on the garden area, Team Exploit just shoot right through it. They pre-fired onto the angle that JN was holding. He never expected to be that dirty like that. I mean, that was ridiculously good. Team Exploit expecting everything. They don't leave anything up to chance. Every single angle covered and checked for. All the players accounted for, and their heads on a pike.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. That is gonna be a massive dent in the confidence of Team Valor as well. The fact that Team Valor lost out on this round, even though their positioning was just really good, it feels like Team Exploit, they have woken up themselves. Fire has been lit under them, and they understand that they need to win here. They need this advantage, because if Team Valor is just 1 point behind them, that's not really a big advantage for them. And if they lose here, that's even going to hurt them more moving on down the line. Lineups are so good from Hunter as well, man. Like, this guy and this lineups, it never fails to amaze me.
Oh my goodness, more to follow. A full-on brawl at the B side. Almost everyone's present over here. Trades going back and forth. But when the dust settles, it's going to be Team Exploit on top. Barely any planting time available for Bullet. At least he's able to get it down, but he can't escape. He's stunned, and now there's an aftershock, and HSB himself comes in to confirm the kill. Even if he did not shoot him with the Spectre, that aftershock would have been able to get him.
Yeah, that was a good kill from his side. 6 and 8 on the scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. Team Exploit, once again, the ball is only in their court, but now they need to make a decision. Do they want to play for the bonus, or do they want to give this one up and just go in for the 4th space? It's a choice they really do need to make here, because having that extra firepower will allow you to get a lot more rounds on the board and get onto that magic scoreline. If you have that magic scoreline in your favor, I personally do believe that you cannot win out. You cannot lose on this one. And now, with the positions being hold, it's just a little bit questionable of how they want to push this one forward. Hunter once again going in for a couple of his own beam strats, but Shooter, he just went in for a massive push and they're just all going in for it. They're not stopping for even a second. And ooh, I like the idea. I like the fact that Shooter wanted to go in for a hard swing of his own, just try and get a little bit of an advantage with the flash and dash combination, but you had no info. You needed to gain info first before going in for the flash and dash, my dudes. You have a double initiator as well in Team Exploit. The fact they didn't do that just costed them pretty much everything here. Hunter gets another kill on the Soleil main, and it's all up to HSB. Sadly, the magic number scoreline is not going to happen. Instead, it's going to be a 7 and 8 instead of a 6 and 9.
Hey, but at least they were just able to make this eco push work. Like, really, they didn't have much to lose. They only had a bunch of pistols, so why not just go for it? Plus, you're able to win the first 2 rounds. You deliberately don't buy in the third one. You still try to make it a bonus round, and now you have enough money for the next one. You've got Odins, you've got Phantoms, Vandals, everything. The only difference is that Soulmate doesn't have heavy shields, which is fine. I mean,
Right here.
he
It's a
can still
killjoy.
make... Yeah, it's a killjoy. You can still make impact with your abilities.
Oh, this is a battle of the Odins. I swear to God, Odin has become such a common staple on this map now. Like, yeah, it was a really strong pick before as well, but now it feels as though every single Silver player on the history of the planet is going to run an Odin on the weak side.
Take flight.
Hey, I will only play Sova on Ascent if I'm allowed to run an Odin, otherwise I will never touch a Sova. Okay, okay. Poor old Buster.
I mean, Bullet's death was confirmed. He got tagged, and when you have that recon dot embedded in your body, you can basically kiss your ass goodbye. But then the second frag, I'm sorry, rather the first one, Buster died before Bullet. Like, that was not supposed to happen.
It's all
Right
part
there.
of the plan. It was written in the stars.
Well, let's see if the stars can actually light up the sky over here, because both the Astras are still online, and Pasha Sahil, the main carry of Team Valor, he can still make a play.
Oh!
JN, he
Yeah.
snuck up in his face, and that's Soulmate dead. Hunter, he's gonna die right here. Ow!
Oh, what do you mean he's gonna die? He's a
How
hunter.
does he survive that?
He's a hunter. And now Hunter's getting told that he is not the hunter and that King's a hunter instead. And with that, Pasha, and they just say that he's the carry for the side of Team Valor. He's gonna need to be the one who clutches everything out here, but the clutch is just not gonna happen, especially against a player like HSB. Swings out, gets tapped into the next dimension. 7-9 in the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. Team Exploit. They're getting forced into a corner. Their backs are against the wall, and they do not know what to expect. How do they move forward? How do they try and move forward?
There was a massive mistake, though, from the side of Team Exploit. They let JN go all the way from A main into Gardens. Like, it's usually supposed to be the other way around. You go from Gardens to A. But if he's allowed to sneak into places like that undetected and get free kills on the Soulmate, well, then that's going to create a problem for them later on.
It feels the Soulmate knew that this push was coming, this was gonna happen, and then he just got caught with his pants down.
Yeah.
Timing's gonna be a little bit off there, but I guess it's fine. They expected it, but it can happen. Moving on down the line from that, though, I completely agree with you. The defenses on A is just too weak, or even my personal liking, but Team Valor? Do you see their economy?
It's a very shabby vibe. But when you don't check angles like this, it's just ridiculous. Buster was able to get a free frag like that in the first half. And now the same thing gets done to them, but the moment I say Buster's name, he starts to step up. Oh, that's unfortunate. I cursed him.
The caster's curse is always true. There's not even a single situation where you start calling something out and then suddenly things go haywire. You've been spending too much time with Assassin.
I know. I mean, this match itself is pretty haywire. I expect A, but B ends up happening. And sometimes I think that will lead to C, but the thing that follows is not even D. It's like E or F or something like that. That's just how wild this game is. So many unexpected things happening. So many unorthodox plays being made. And those unorthodox plays, more often than not, end up working. Which, honestly, is something that I enjoy. I like it when matches don't go in a predictable fashion. But there's a limit to how many rules you're allowed to break in this game called Valorant. And Buster, he's not breaking any rules. He's breaking all his opponent's will to live. Shooter gets deleted instantly. Now, with this opening pick, Team Valor must capitalize on this. They don't have the best of weaponry, but they've seldom found an opening pick and converted it into a full round. They must do it once more.
Down the position, they knew what to expect. They know
You
what
want to
to do.
fight it?
But Buster, he's gonna get a free kill.
They didn't check him.
A free kill. But Buster, he has a beautiful lurk to work with. He should be able to get a free one or towards one of the players at the bare minimum. Getting caught by the gravity well, that's gonna hurt him quite a lot. But Soulmate and Darky, they're holding down that 4th tier. They're expecting Buster to be up there. They know Buster, he's gonna peek out. He's gonna get sent back home almost immediately. His phone call's not gonna get picked up either. And with that, Bullet, last person remaining, getting bullied into a corner. Just look at the corner, my man. Look at the wall and just don't look back from it. You'll get a couple of prices on the wines. Just pick up a vintage wine and just walk away from this.
Yeah, he's gonna need a drink after this round. The way he got bullied into that corner, yeah, it takes a little bit of alcohol to get over it.
Yeah, but he's not even gonna be able to get that there, my man. Bullet, taken out.
I feel like, yeah, sure, Bullet was trapped in a corner like that, and they did him dirty, but what's even worse is that Buster worked so hard to get inside that position on defender spawn. HSP didn't check him. He could have had the perfect backstab, but then somehow King came along and he started to rotate from the B side and he spotted out Buster. He wasn't able to kill him, but that's enough. Him spotting out Buster near Heavens was enough for TEAMXO to be aware about him.
Oh my god!
Placing swap bomb.
JN! That would have scared me into the next planet. Oh, what?
Uh-oh, run.
JN just went from India to Narnia in a matter of seconds.
The lion, the witch. You can complete the rest.
And then there's the JN.
Spike down mid.
Oh god. Dude, if that happened to me in actual game, I would have freaked out.
Oh, Odin versus the Ares, and surprisingly, it's the god of the underworld that ends up coming on top. Thor's dad has nothing on him. But now the round has slowed down significantly. There is only one player available over here, so things could go wrong. Soulmate, he might just end up lining them both up, and what a shutdown. That's match point. Series point, actually, for the side of TEAMXO.
Match point.
Yeah, they're bringing it all back. And they're bringing it all back in style as well. The fact that they're able to find so much value in the way that they're moving around the map, the way that they're systematically breaking down every single fight as well, just goes to show that, hey, on this 7 and 12, it can work. It can be a really good way of bringing things back, but I don't know what else to do here. Do you think that Team Valor is going to be able to bring this one back? I personally don't think so.
Not when shooters getting shots like these. He's just doing them dirty every time he gets away with murder. He hits it and he just walks away. Flies away, rather. Instant man disadvantage. I mean, they never really had too much of an advantage to work with, but now they don't have Bullet. That means they can get backstabbed. JN, though, blind as a bat, dead like a rat. And HSB completely decimates him. They just keep on getting picked off one by one, and I've started to feel bad for for Team Valor right now. 3v5. At least they have the Hunter's Fury. They can at least clear out the more common positions on the B side and try to hit it, but that's not where the rest of his players are. Two of them just inside market and just the spike outside of B.
Just how do you push? How do you go forward with this? It's all up to the player on mid, the Hunter.
30
He needs to
seconds
find
left.
something. HSP, he's just waiting it out on the back end. Pasha's making a little bit of noise on towards that beaming sidelines. They're going in for that swing. They're going in for that push. Buster's gonna be good for 1 kill at the bare minimum. But look at Shooter's position. This is such an unconventional spot to work with. Shooter, get up, it's a shot. Shooter,
No.
he misses the bullet.
That's it.
No, but
That's
still,
what they were looking
Soulmate.
for.
No, wait.
Spike
Soulmate can
planted.
still do it.
Yeah, he's got the lockdown. Yeah. But I think the moment he puts up that lockdown, they're going to push him. And it doesn't cover the entirety of Courthouse, so they can push him, and they have the option to fall back. Team Valor can do whatever they want, and Soulmate did not force out enough errors out of them. At least he spots them going inside, so he knows where they are. But if they double peek him like that, there's no way he can pull this one off. He's just
all
hoping
about
that they
aim
offer him
game now.
1v1s. Yeah, aim game and trading. Oh, the trades don't come through. They give him 1v1.
bullets.
Soulmate can actually pull this off.
Oh, dude. If Soulmate got this, that would have been so good. But the thing is, Soulmate, he couldn't risk going in for that spray mid-flick. Normally, how do you win out on that situation? Mid-flick, you go in for a swing, or mid-flick, you go in for that spray, so that as soon as you're flicking out, you still have a chance of hitting a headshot. But with 6 bullets, you can't do something like that. You're gonna miss out, probably. He wanted to take it slow, he wanted to take it steady, and then aim his crosshair before he wanted to take that shot, but... Dude, I personally believe if he just had 12 more bullets, this would have been a round win for the side of TEAMXO and a series win as well.
Deploying drone.
Team Valor stay in this for one more round. Both the drones just waving past each other, saying hi. Festive greetings are in order. But it's Team Exploit's turn to celebrate. They just need to win one more, but Team Valor have to keep on winning again and again and again, and they don't even have the proper weapons to work with. Just got a Spectre, 3 light shields. Well, I mean, okay, fine, we can ignore the light shields. Both the teams have 3 light shields, so that's not that big of a concern, but Shooter getting pushed like that, he's been forced to take the angles just outside of stairs, and now he's in a little bit of trouble, but HSE covers him, and Shooter's allowed to hit once again.
God, they're doing
There's
it
no
again.
way he was supposed to survive
Shooter.
that one. Finally, Pastor Tahil gets the better of him, but the
King!
Astral Divide gets the better of him, and King is detained. This has gone horribly wrong. Team Exploit had the advantage. They got 2 kills right at the start, but then things start to just fall apart.
Well then,
They make
it's
this
the
one
beginning
work,
of the
though.
end, dude.
I guess so. Divide's about to expire. This is their chance to move right inside. Team Valor still have more men, so Exploit can choose to save their weapons. They have plenty of rounds to work with, but not too much money. So if they go for a save right now, I wouldn't be completely against it. But it seems like they want to try. They want to end the game right here and now, and they might just be able to do it. Darky hitting all his shots. Hunter very low on HP. He just needs the Killjoy to help him, but the healthier player is dead, and Darky picks all of them up by himself.
He's the one with low HP. And he's the one who got all of the kills.
Well,
Darky was the player on the player spotlight.
for a reason.
Yeah, I honestly told you, Darky's an insane aim god, and he is a clutch minister and a half that will bring Exploit the wins. And Team Valor, they performed it really admirably. They were trying to bring everything back, but the thing is, from that 6-6 scoreline, Team Exploit and their defense, it felt like Team Valor, they had no way of trying to bring on back any of the rounds from the way that they were losing out.
Yeah, but this was still a pretty good game. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained all and out. 6-6 in the first half. There couldn't have been a better start to Ascent. Let's take a look at the match highlights. And some of these rounds were really, really close. I mean, most of these rounds which Exploit was able to win boiled down to 1v1s, 2v2s. And it was just a bit too close for comfort. The scoreline does not do justice to how close this game was.
Yeah, in a way, I would say that Team Valor, they played it very beautifully. Just the first initial pistol round was just an insanity. Like, the way that they were taking fights, the shock dart kills, the trades, the constant fights back and forth, just goes to show that, hey, Team Valor, they meant business on this map. They were ready, and they were prepped up to gun everyone down no matter what happened. And that's what you would like to see.
I swear, some of these rounds that Team Valor were able to win are absolutely unbelievable. They were able to make Amanda's advantage work. They chose the most ridiculous of weaponry, and they even held some really stupid angles. And I say stupid because nobody would check those angles, but that's exactly why they worked, right? If it's stupid and it works, then it ain't stupid anymore.
Yeah,
They
that's
use
right.
all these silly angles, and they make Team Exploit wonder, how are these guys pulling this off?
Yeah, they're just thinking, being like, how do I beat stupidity? I use my own stupidity to go up against their stupidity, or maybe just shove an operator barrel down their throats to make it happen. And that's either works.
I mean, at this point, I'm starting to think that we're the ones who are stupid who can't see all this coming. Of course, in a map like Ascent, you have to go for those unorthodox plays, and you have to start taking up those angles, which nobody would expect you to be in. In a map as standard as that, in a map where everyone knows all the angles and almost everyone gets pre-fired most of the time, you have to play with those off angles. You have to go out of the book in order to write your name down in history.
That's how the fat lady sings from time to time. Because in a way, I didn't expect Exploit to play like the way they did, but at the same time, Team Valor right at the very end, they just you kind of saw what happened. Jia just there's
This
some
one
of
though.
these swings, yeah, but some of these swings and some of these plays coming on down through from Team Valor were absolutely incredible. They were pulling off stuff that they really shouldn't have been going for, the way that they were systematically being able to break everything down as well. Like, I loved it from the very start up to all the way up till the very end. Team Valor, they pulled off an incredible comeback. It was a 6-6 from a 0-5. They have the potential
Exactly.
to make things work, but I believe that with the newest iteration of JN, they're still trying to work out the kinks in their armor to try and finally build a squad that they can be really proud with. Pasha as well, man. He showed up the most. This guy stole my heart the way that he was able to get a lot of these clutches and a lot of these flicks. Pasha, he's a demon now on this Asterisk. He's slowly getting there. I doubted him before, but I don't think I need to doubt him.
Some of these frags that Team Valor were able to pull off, like for example, Hunter pulling off that double kill when he was stunned with not just the fault line, but also the concussion from the Astra. And then these flicks from Pasha Sahil. Like, how do you make this happen? He wide peaked, dry, with nobody to back him up. And he still pulls off those flicks. Now, that's just plain unbelievable. Even Hunter, for that matter, the positions that this guy was trapped inside, even though he was done, getting all those frags like that, it's not easy. If I say it's not easy, that's an understatement. It should be impossible to pull off stuff like that, but they were still able to do it. So even if Team Valor don't win this one, I think they can hold their heads up high, and for good reason too. They have recently added JN. They haven't played too many matches with him. With a new player on the roster, with the synergy still not intact, if you're able to give Team Exploit a run for their money, I think that Team Valor have a lot of bright days ahead of them, especially when they're able to get everything in order. Once they start gelling up with each other, I think Team Valor is about to start really popping off.
Okay, both of these teams have made their marks on the group standings as well. So let's head on down over onto that screen and see exactly who's going to be moving up, who's going to be moving down. And just as we stated previously, Team Exploit, they're going to force themselves up to the very top. It was a 2-1 victory, but in the sense that Team Valor got that one map, they're still going to be happy. They got that consolation prize. They got that one map that they really needed to keep themselves up in the running. And that's the thing. You don't need to win every single game. You just
need
every
the
single
points.
series. So not every single series. You just need one game. One game every single time, even if you're not able to win it out on a 2-0 or a 2-1, it's fine. Get that 1 point, keep the ball rolling in your court, and as soon as you get that 2-0 victory or a 2-1 victory, you shoot up in the rankings and you guarantee your position on the playoffs, even if you do not win every single matchup.
Well, that's how the cookie crumbles. Both Team Exploit and Valor in number 1 and number 2 positions, respectively. Although I have to say, Team Valor, they almost had it in the back, but Exploit just surprised us, especially Shooter. The frags that he was able to get, the shots that he was able to get away with was just ridiculous. There were so many angles and so many fights that he picked up, and he should have been punished right then and there. But just because of his mechanical superiority, he's able to out-aim his opponents. I wouldn't even say that he was able to outsmart them, just straight up out-aim them, hit them, and then quit the angle.
Yeah, he just does not care. He's like a literal demon, and he is the Flash. That's how quick he is, like, especially when he has an operator, dude. He's just tapping people. He's peeking out of corners as if he has like 8 ping. And you gotta mind you, this guy's on pretty high ping as well. The way that he's shooting, it feels as though he's playing on low. Oh my god, dude. Like, having such talent on the server is always something really interesting to watch. And hey, the Team Exploit, they're shaping up to be something like this. The Group of Death is just gonna get even more deadlier because Team Exploit, they have left their mark here. And in this sense, they take it all away on a 2-1 victory for their side. But Team Valor, they have a lot more room to grow. And the fact that they have already won a 2-1 set, and they have won 1 extra point here, being on the 3 points, they're still in the clear moving on down the line. But sadly, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for today. One very intense best of 3. It was a 2-1 scoreline where Team Exploit took it all away as a short recap. And that's all that we have for you. But before we do sign on off, make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit the notification bell to get notified when we do go live with other future streams. And hey, if you don't want to miss any of the scheduling updates for the Esports Club, make sure to hit us a follow on our Instagram as well. All the social links are down below in the description. You don't want to miss a single bit of the updates that we have down there. And hey, a couple of the spicy clips that we saw here, Pasha Styles' incredible flick, it's also going to be up there if you want to relive those moments as well. And hey, as you're down there in the descriptions, make sure to check out all the links from the side of our sponsors, Ballistix and Crucial. If you want to get yourself a Ramps, if you want to get yourself an SSD, Crucial and Ballistix, they're the ones that you really want to see here as well. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by Chris, signing on off. And we're going to be back with it real soon with the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 3, powered by Ballistix and Crucial. Our apparel partners are none other than 656. And we're going to be back with you real soon tomorrow with another set of games. Good night. Happy